Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Patronkast Plays Mortal Kombat X. I'm Razor, Chad and Smokeman are here. And this shall be our 10th and final episode. Come hell or high water, I don't care what you say.
Okay.
This is it.
Wow, 10 episodes for Mortal Kombat X.
4 of them on just looking at costumes. There are officially too many costumes in this game.
This brings me to a point that I want to make.
Okay.
Those of you who are listening, and continue listening, may have noticed that we were going slightly batshit insane, partially at each other towards the end of last episode.
Yeah, the natives are getting restless.
I spent a while thinking to myself about why this was, and I realized it comes down to one simple thing. We're doing it again.
What?
We're doing it to ourselves again.
What are we doing?
I mean,
the whole thing, the whole reason we started going back to prior MKs was to just kind of put more gas in the tank to remind us about the MKs we loved. Remember a few scant months ago when we were playing Deception and Armageddon and Shaolin monks together and we were all happy and the flowers were blooming and babies were smiling and there were rainbows? We did that to get away from the things that MK12 was making us feel. And now we've come full circle, and we're back here again. And once more, we're locked in the quagmire of looking at things NRS did that we're not entirely happy with, that we have to critique and dig in and dig down, and that's what's doing it to me, you know?
I mean, here's the thing,
I don't know.
I
don't know what you're talking about. I'm looking at something that I like.
The reason I'm okay with doing this for MKX is that I like more than I dislike about MKX. So the thing is, if we were to do the costume thing for Deception, and I think at some point we will go back and do that, we'll look at costumes and arcade endings, just because I think it's only fair that we cover the parts of games we played that we didn't cover, and then, we did cover them with 9 and X and versus DC. So when we eventually go back and look at, like, costumes in Deception and Armageddon and Deadly Alliance, I got complaints. Okay, I don't like all of that shit. Dairu looks like garbage. Jarek is a nightmare.
Maybe I'm just tired of picking over the corpses and looking at things I don't like and pulling it apart by the seams. Maybe I just want to look at Mortal Kombat and be happy, you know?
I get that, but some of this makes me happy. Like, I'm enjoying myself more than not.
I'm enjoying myself, but a little bit less than I was.
If the ratio swung the other way, that's how I feel about 11 and 12, and that's why we're not doing those two.
Yeah, I think that's it for me. This is... MKX is the tipping point for me. This is where things start to kind of veer away from the MK I feel like I really knew and loved.
And I will grant, so there were two things last episode in particular. You had your computer crash, and that was, you were down for almost an hour. We didn't actually say that on the air, but that was one of the causes of frustration. The other thing was that you are alone in your dislike of Takeda? And I can see how that would be frustrating when you're, pointing out things you don't like, and me and Smokeman both disagree.
It's not just Takeda, although seeing him in his Metal Gear Solid-ass outfit really does kind of bring home everything I don't like about so many of NRS's design choices at once, and maybe that's why I feel like I'm just going right back down the spiral that I'm so tired of all the time.
I totally get it.
I'm already fucking depressed. There's a brown ninja in front of us that I'd like to talk about.
Okay,
all right, let's get into
it. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Tremor, because...
Thank you for taunting.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of love for the primary here.
Something I'm a little bit disappointed by is that, so Metallic has the gimmick of you can switch between gold and lava.
Oh, yeah, you can't see the lava skin.
You can't see the lava skin in the viewer. So that's a bummer. But, the primary is fine. I think the glowing orange cracks are a little more interesting visually, but the primary is fine.
Those of you the very few of you probably who are still with us and remember the old school days on MKO, Mortal Kombat Online. If you remember any of my posts about Tremor, it was always, this is a piece of shit, uninspired character. I never want to see it ever happen again. Why do people keep asking for this? It's just because it's a goddamn ninja. There are better characters out there. And to NRS's credit, they dug through the box of crap and they reworked it. And I think that this is one of the
there was
better
always.
reconstructions.
It was always really
There was
obvious how you could make Tremor
something to work
cool.
with.
Because earthbending is inherently, like, has just as much potential as any other element. There's a lot of cool things you can do with a guy who controls rocks, and, you know, it doesn't just have to be ground pounds and fireballs like it was in Special Forces.
I mean, there's stuff
I
you can...
always felt it was fairly obvious.
Yeah.
How
I just
to
think
make
that
Tremor
there's...
cool.
I'm not saying there never was. I never saw anything with him that I didn't see possible in other people. This is, keep in mind, this is at the time. I could think of a million ways to like make Tazia and No Face and God help me, even Jarek pretty cool. I would have always gone for them more than I went for him.
Sure.
Because I also just thought that MK had enough ninjas at the time, but whatever. That's the past, and we're looking at the big brown guy right now.
So I will say, I always thought of Tremor as an orange ninja at first, because my first exposure to him was that unused bit from the trilogy strategy guide, where he was like a miscolored Ermac with Rain's bio.
That takes me back.
Yeah, so he was orange there, and then he was brown in Special Forces, but I'm still in my head, I'm thinking, well, brown is just desaturated orange, right?
Brown and desaturated. That's why he works so well in this game.
Yeah, there is that. I will say, so these pads here on his hips are kind of orange. They are actually in his player 2 color scheme. That, and I think some of the like straps on his shoulders and maybe his hood. Some of this changes from brown to bright like orange to saturated orange in his like player 2 colors. But the thing is,
to be fair, him and MK12, he is orange.
Yeah, that's also true. But I'm now like my way of looking at it has changed, and it goes into something that Shad was saying about being sick of too many ninjas. The thing is, I don't get sick of too many ninjas. I'm up for all the palette swaps.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
And the
you
thing
can
is,
watch 25 seasons of Sentai. I kind of can't.
That's fair. But
I can't. I don't do that.
But the point I want to make...
Don't let me in with the Sentai warrior over here.
All right. Stop being embarrassed about stuff you don't even do. The thing is now that I accept Tremor as brown. The reason is because I want Wu Lei.
You actually do want Wu Lei.
There is now a slot for an orange ninja. I want the Tengu clan to be fleshed out. I think, bird-themed ninjas with scythes could be cool. There's stuff you could do with that.
I'm looking at him in MK12 right now, and I feel like the word that we should have always used, as I also look at like that one screen cap of him in the MK9 Vita version and a Special Forces screenshot.
Yeah.
We should have always called him the Tan Ninja.
Yeah. I mean, tan is just light brown.
Yeah, like, tan is the best way to describe him.
Ermac was already tan in MK3.
Ermac's skin is tan.
That's what I mean. That's what I meant, Razor.
I've always
the joke. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that funny. So here's...
Ew. Get that the fuck off the screen.
I could do without all the, like, wrinkling. Like, use some chapstick,
He's old.
bro.
He's old.
If his skin were gray, he'd basically be Doomsday.
Why?
Like a teenage version of Doomsday.
Why does... Like, I get the rocks. Okay, that makes sense. But the cracking around his lips does just, like, make him look like he's shin-knocking out. Like he's an old man.
I mean, like, even then, I don't like the rocks on his face.
Can I ask a question?
It's a little much. It's a little much.
Does he shave? If so, how? Does he will the facial rocks to grow? Can he make a Fu Manchu of rocks?
These are all good questions.
On command. I much prefer it with a mask on, thank you.
Yeah,
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 thank
it is
you.
better with
Thank
the
you.
mask.
I really don't dig like either the gold or like the crystalline effect on the chest.
So there's kind of a thing where in the gaps between the rocks, it's like a green glow. And I
kind of see that.
I don't think that's I think that's what's throwing it off, because it's just like if that were skin colored instead of green, the rocks would stand out more.
Maybe.
And it would I don't know, make more sense to my eyes, I guess. It seems it's garish. It is garish, like no matter what you do. But I do like the idea of crystals being an option in his moveset.
Oh yeah, that was excellent.
Oh, there's a neat like glitter. You see that?
Ooh, yeah.
Pretty.
Honestly, like if Tremor were in a game that's like not variations, I don't
Yeah.
think I would even change anything. I would just give him the option to switch between the three as like a special move.
I would consider maybe giving him like some of his moves throw rocks, some of his moves do lava, and some of his moves do crystal. I don't know that gold is
Smokeman
necessary.
sounds like you'd like make him into Gen from Street Fighter.
Like I guess
different sets of moves he can swap back and
metal
forth from.
metal makes sense. I don't know that it has to be gold.
Gold raises questions. Why doesn't Kano just make Tremor just pull up all the gold out of the earth? Why do heist when you could just...
Why doesn't Kano have Tremor
fucking-
just grow rocks out of his hands and then they'll like just generate free money?
Tremor, how do you shave? Why aren't you counterfeiting all the time?
Also, why are the rocks on his face not gold? Look, they don't change with the rocks on the rest of him.
Because that'd look fucking awful.
Would it look any
That'd look
worse or
fucking terrible.
it
wanna
already
picture
looks
it.
awful.
Let's actually talk about his clothes now.
All right.
The leather belts going down to make the V is very clever.
Yeah, I think they did a good job of coming up with like an urban criminal way to do a ninja.
It's kind of like industrial with the
Yeah.
shoulder pads too. I like how it kind of like
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
belt kind of like slots in.
this is good use of belt.
He would fit in the Black Dragon warehouse where they keep all their weapons and stuff, like the factories where they make laser eyes or whatever they do.
Where they make laser. Like
I
no,
like-
he really does look like.
Well, they literally had a factory where they make laser eyes at the fucking Legacy show.
There is that excellent balance here of like something criminal that is vaguely resemblant of a ninja. Is resemblant a word? I don't care. It is now.
Close enough.
That vaguely resembles an MK ninja, but feels more grounded and rugged and crooked. It's good.
I think it makes a lot of sense. The only thing that really kind of bothers me is like the cloud
Nope.
stripes on his pants.
I mean,
I don't know
I don't
about
see-
that.
they're not as they're not like colored red like they were in the MKX comic.
Well,
but
I think in the comic they were green. Like
They definitely
the base
stood
was
out.
green, but the base was green, but like the piping and shit was red.
it was definitely colorful and garish, and it's much
They look
better
better
in the
here.
actual game. Yeah.
I still think that I do think that like the rigid look works for them.
You know what?
Yeah,
I
works
would have
for
done.
them.
I would have done like if you have to have like texture and detail, because you think plain pants would be boring. I would have done like cargo pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that would look like street clothes, but with texture and detail. Like do the same kind of pants that like Cabal wears in MK3. You know, something like functional and realistic.
Yeah.
I also think it's interesting. Like Tremor's probably the only guy in the franchise who has this like dull orange eyes with white pinpoints for pupils.
I can't quite see.
Well, this is as far as I can zoom in, so...
Hang on, full screening that.
Maybe if you taunt.
Yeah,
he'll,
a little
like,
bit.
Widen
I can
his
see it.
eyes.
Has he ever said "Let's rock" anywhere in the game?
Yes, he does. He does.
Excellent.
I think he says it when you do a brutality.
Okay, yeah, look, he's growing free money right now.
Yeah.
Why does the Black Dragon need to do crimes?
But why does Kano hire people? Why hasn't Kano killed everyone and just hung out with Tremor for the rest of his life?
You know what? I'm gonna assume that that's a new power that he got after he went to the Dream Realm. that'll close that plot.
Of being able to create gold.
Yeah, that'll fill that plot hole right in. That's gonna take care of that. All right. Do we have anything else we want to say about
average boots? Not really much I can comment on. They're serviceable, not special. I think that suits them.
They kind of tore it. Like, I feel like he could afford better boots since he can grow gold out of his hands.
He's going to the store right after this.
Yeah. Get some J's, man. Buy yourself some nice cans.
Motherfucker should be walking around in a top hat and monocle. He is rich.
In MK12, they gave him the power that he can like levitate rocks. How do you feel about that?
He already does that in like his X-ray or fatalities, doesn't he? Like
I don't think he ever did.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, he makes rocks float in fucking Snowblind.
Oh, I don't remember that. I only watched that
when he's fighting Kenshi, he's like,
you know what? I think that's actually a fair observation. Now that you've said it, it's actually kind of
some
bothering
rocks into
me.
the air and then slamming them down.
Yes, it shouldn't be a. You know, I've seen Sub-Zero do weirder things with ice. If I start questioning it with Tremor, I'm gonna go nuts.
I mean, Earthbenders can like make a rock float and then throw it at you, can't they?
I think so. I've seen the last Airbender movie.
Yeah, the Shyamalan version, they definitely float a rock.
The question is, can he turn himself into rocks, fall down backwards into the ground, and reemerge from the ground elsewhere? Because that would still make more sense than Sub-Zero doing it.
I think he can do that. That's like his intro animation.
I never noticed the sparkly effect until today. That's really neat.
Yeah, like he forms like a rock statue of himself and then breaks out of it.
So yes, he can totally merge with the earth.
Yeah.
This guy could be doing glacious uppercuts left and right, honestly.
All right, I think we've covered Tremor pretty thoroughly.
No. I love Tremor in this fucking game.
Only 3 more characters to get through.
It's for Cyrax and Smoke.
Yeah, it's a robot.
It's a good robot.
I don't like the 3 lights on the chest.
I kind of dig them.
I like the big blender in the chest.
That is pretty bitchin'.
Yeah, that's where the bombs come from.
I do, in general, like the Triborg design a bit more than I liked either of the MK9 ones.
Yeah, I have to say, so I have a personal thing, and I understand some people would disagree. I think the Cyber Ninjas, at least when you first introduce them, like fresh out of the initiative, they should have the same body. Like, if you want to differentiate them, give them different heads, that's fine. But
the point is that they're all prototypes that rolled off the assembly line.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not really a logical reason why they would have taken the time or the effort to, like, customize them from the neck down like they do in 9. They really should just be, like, they have a pile of parts and they use the same parts on every guy, and there's only 3 guys, so...
It is still a little bit too, like, segmented and Michael Bayish for my liking.
Yeah,
right.
But it's a bit better.
I will grant this one is busy, but there are some details I like about it. So specifically, like, if the neck and the abdomen, you know, you've got these tubes here, and like, they follow the musculature of a human body. Like, they're placed in a logical way where it makes sense how they bend and move, and, like, it's like the robot anatomy is actually like they thought about it, you know? So I do appreciate that. But yeah, in general, they are too busy, and I always felt like the sweet spot was more like Armageddon sector.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah.
Although I will say, as opposed to having smoke on, like you did earlier, having Cyrax or Sector, or maybe even Sub-Zero if you go back to him, having the colors pop like that really does help it a fair deal.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, even on smoke, like it's hard to tell, but the like blackish color that's on him is actually more of like a dark grayish purple.
Yeah,
I think it's actually lighter on
kinda
player
see
2.
Yeah, well,
it's just straight up purple
on the player
on
2, he's
two.
like bright purple.
I think that should have been what they went for instead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
It's just
enjoy
more visible.
playing. I enjoy playing him in the player 2 colors when I do use smoke, which
But
isn't
then-
often because Sector has the better moveset.
Yeah,
Oh, I did not like the way they executed Cyber Smoke's moveset in this. Like
Yeah.
the top-down teleport. After I started playing Triborg, it was all Sector constantly because he was my main, or one of my two mains in 9.
the top-down
And-
teleporter is not nearly as cool as the 2-1 punch.
Yeah,
from
the 9 version was much better.
I
think-
get that they were trying to make like a version of Smoke that could stand out from the human form as much as the versions in 3 did, with a different moveset that had similar roots, but I would have just stuck with his 9 moves. It was just more fleshed out. Different masks. They've got different masks.
Yeah, yeah. You know, the one thing I will say is I don't think Cyrax has had a good helmet in the entire NRS era. Like the classic MK3 helmet for Cyrax in particular has not been topped.
Nope.
I think the MK11 one is okay.
The 11 one is alrightish, but I find that like 9 and X in particular, like you look at like this nose mouth area, it kind of makes him look like a
Bee
bird
or something. I don't know.
I get like a duck bill almost.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah. There is this picture deep in my phone of a duck with like a bill that kind of like curves down like that.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now too.
Yeah, it's just it's awkward.
Also, would really restrict the yellow to the mask plate.
Well, I see what they were trying to do with his eyebrows. These 2 stripes are kind of like obviously Sector has the
It looks
closest.
so much better here.
You know,
my God.
Like the MK3 helmets obviously have like an eyebrow design where it's like straight across the top of the eye, and then it's these 2 hooks that curve upward. And Sector has it, and Cyrax has these straight stripes instead that just suck in comparison. And Smoke just kind of has stripes, sucks in comparison. Really, you want these hook shapes, and you want them on all 3 because it's iconic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just... Ah, yes. Cyber Sub and Smoke have the same helmet, just different colors.
Yeah. Well, the trailer just had like a light gray.
Yeah. Yeah, there was like a...
That's-
like
I
a-
mean,
a
I guess that
Which
default-
I think
There's a default
think-
silver Triborg they used in the marketing that you can't actually play as.
Wait, that's not true. That's not true. It's Cyber Subs Player 2.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it is.
I've never
I just remember that.
I never tried out Player 2 Cyber Sub. That's interesting that they actually got it in there.
Man, looking at it is actually making me want to play this game again.
You see? You don't hate X that bad.
I never said I hated it. It's just it and 9 are just from I don't know, a weird post Mortal Kombat being a huge part of my life and my safe space kind of era, you know? This is for me it's Mortal Kombat the after years. I still look on them fondly, but the real Mortal Kombat was the friends I made along the way, as far as the NRS period goes.
Well,
Fair
thank you, Shad.
You're welcome.
Alright, well...
You have anything to say about his robot ass or his shoes or what? I don't know. We're almost out of material.
I got nothing. I'm looking for this duck picture that I
yeah,
talked
they
about.
didn't give them much in the way of a shock absorber back there, did they?
Nope.
That's, the Hank Hill of robots.
I don't know that I would have like.
I like that they've got.
I don't know that the back of his legs needed to be yellow too.
Well, I think color-wise they're following the same like shapes and patterns as 9. I mean, I've always said like one of my problems with the NRS era of the Cyber Ninjas is that they are too colored on the arms and legs. Like they look like an Iron Man armor when they should like this. There should be like some material here. There should be like some like human body covered in like a latex, and then you put some armor on just like the knees and shins, and like they don't have a flap. They don't have a loincloth like they did in 3. And the loincloth is part of the ninja identity. Like this is cyber, but it's not ninja. You know, where's the ninja in Cyber Ninja?
It needs to look stealthy.
I would just like, I would, you know, retain some shape language from the Scorpions and Sub-Zeros out of, like, you know, tradition and, you know, like, there's, it's an iconicness thing, like an identity thing. You want people to look at your robots and know that they're robot ninjas and not just Terminators.
Well
said. There's a psychological effect, like the loincloth speaks to the Japaneseness of it or whatever. Because like even you watch the Wolverine, the second movie where he goes to Japan and he fights Silver Samurai, and they turn Silver Samurai into a giant mech suit, but it still has a metal loincloth because it's supposed to look like a samurai.
They got that much right. I was surprised by that.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I actually do like that the NRS era added that they didn't have before is the colored lights. Like,
yeah, I was about to bring that up.
Like in MK3, even all the way up to Armageddon, they are just a red guy with black eyes, and a yellow guy with black eyes, and a bluish purple guy with red eyes. Like they got smoke colors in Deception. But that part of that was just because he was going demon, and red speaks to that. But Sector having blue eyes and Cyrax having green eyes, and then like the running lights on their bodies, those are an addition that I like because it does sort of.
It does pop a little.
Yeah, it pops. It helps with their iconicness, and I'm so.
What's Sub got?
Sub has a different shade of blue.
You know, I might have made it orange. No, wait, no. Orange on Sub-Zero is inherently wrong and sinful.
I would have suggested maybe just white.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like. So MK12, Sector and Cyrax have the same colors in their eyes and shit. And if you look at the concept art, they were supposed to have the colors they normally have, Sector with blue and Cyrax with green. And somehow in the way to becoming 3D models, they fucking scrapped it, and I'm so disappointed. But I don't want to talk about that any longer, so we're going to move on.
Yay!
You guys have anything else you want to say about the Cyber Ninjas?
It's a robot.
Triborg as an expression of the Cyber Ninjas.
I am much more forgiving these days about Triborg as a concept than I was on release, because a lot of people were really upset that like we couldn't get all 3 of them as a character.
We talked about this when we watched the arcade endings, and I mentioned how Aaron Black's X-Ray had the bullet doesn't say Triborg, it says Sector Cyrax Smoker Sub-Zero, as if they were intended to be 4 characters that just share a character select box. So like. And you know, story-wise, you go into the intros, every intro, he acts like Sector. He does not act like an amalgamation of 4 guys with 3 of them didn't want to be cyborgs. He just acts like Sector. And he forms the Tekunin, which is a Sector thing. The character is Sector. And that's a problem.
I feel like maybe they wanted to.
Yeah, I don't want to use the
do...
word laziness because it's probably more about time constraints in this particular example.
I think time constraints. Maybe they had to put a certain amount of guests in under WB's whip. I don't know. It could be anything. We aren't privy to the details.
Yeah, I think.
But I do feel like they probably
world,
did want to.
In a perfect world, we were probably supposed to get like 4 different voice actors, each variation having its own intros, so that they would come across as 4 characters instead of 1 character with 4 variations.
Honestly, you know what? If that had happened, X would probably be far and away my favorite of the NRS games.
Yeah, and I
would
mean,
have fucking won.
I've always that's sort of how I've always rationalized it, and even like you go back to the reveal of Kombat Pack 2 and how I was the only one in our video who was kind of positive about it. And it's because no matter how, like, disappointing the Triborg aspects of Triborg are, I look at him and I see Sector, but with the bonus that if I want to, I can play Cyrax and Smoke. And I'm just happy to have Sector, Cyrax, and Smoke in some form or fashion. And it's like, it's not perfect, but it's good enough.
I guess.
Yeah.
I just wish we didn't live in an era where we had to settle for good enough.
Yeah, I get that.
But it got so much worse afterwards.
Yeah.
And I now look upon this with happiness.
Yeah. Yeah, it puts everything in perspective.
It really does. Those earlier Smashing Pumpkins albums after the breakup just get better and better with time.
Alright, now we can look at some concept art.
Let's.
And I'm going to start with stuff that we can't cover by looking at the character viewer.
I'm still looking for this duck picture.
Alright, so here's their here's the frosts we could have gotten. Obviously number 2 is the one we did get. Number 1
hair
is...
looks... The hair looks so much better in this art than it wound up being.
It's much easier to draw spiky hair than it is to render it. Especially as tall as hers is. And keep in mind, like, if you actually look at the 3D era games, Frost doesn't seem to have hair. She seems to have icicles growing out of her scalp.
I always thought that was silly.
Yeah, I mean, even back then, like, I always looked at that and I went, I know what it looks like, but I want to believe this is hair. It's just frozen hair. She's using water and her powers as hair gel, but there is hair in there. That's what I choose to believe.
We should just make a gentleman's agreement to not think too hard about ice hair, rock beards, smoke skin.
Yeah. But yeah, so I understand why they went with number 2, because it matches Sub-Zero's primary. But I would have preferred number 1 because it looks more like Deadly Alliance.
Number 3 is interesting, but I feel like it's kind of a what if future Frost actually wised up and became like Sifu or some shit.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't think you get to wear the unmasked Sub-Zero costume
you don't, unless you're
you're
like leading the Lin Kuei clan.
Yeah, unless like she would need to be a better student and more on his side instead of like the rebel who never learns the lessons and wants to betray him. Like, cause the unmasked outfit is not a Lin Kuei uniform. It's the thing Sub-Zero chose to wear when he quit the clan. It belongs to him.
This is a neat little world into a parallel universe we'll never see.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of 4. Like, the long hair, like, it doesn't fit...
No, I don't know what they're doing with that.
It doesn't fit Frost's personality. And I know, like, back in the day, you go back to when Frost was first introduced, the spiky hair was a point of contention among people. Not everybody was ready for, like, the punk chick look. some people back then may have advocated for, like, redesigning her to be a long-haired, more conventionally attractive woman. I don't think that's Frost's personality. I don't think she would go for long hair. It looks weird on her. Like, she doesn't look like Frost here. She looks like some kind of, like, snow princess, like Ninja Elsa.
Yeah.
I find number 4 interesting, but for the same reasons you just mentioned, not quite suitable.
Yeah.
The thing actually that really bugs me, though, isn't the hair. Because I could picture maybe if she was facing away from us, maybe, like, the tips could be icicles or something. There's something there that they could maybe work around. The thing that throws me is that collar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't like this collar either. This, like, medieval gorget is not doing it for me.
It's from Hordax Horde.
Like, I get it on her boots there, because it's kind of like an icicle motif down there, but I don't know. It just does not look good on her, around her neck like that.
Alright, next.
Alright, so here it is in color. I think we all saw this in story mode, not much to say.
There's our Ice Queen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's Li Mei. And, again, number 2 is the one they went with in-game. I, personally, would have kept the bandana that number 3 is wearing. Because when I think of Li Mei, I don't think of Deadly Alliance first. I think of Deception first. That's just me. I think it... The thing is, it's so hard for Li Mei to sort of stand out on the roster, because there was a woman who wore purple before her.
It's between number 1 and number 4 for me, I think, although I agree about the bandana.
Well, so here's the thing that bothers me about number 1. Like, number 1 would have been the one I would choose, because it has, like, the ribbing on that corset sort of looks like the dragon wing bra she had in Deception. I appreciate that. The thing, 1 is kind of ruined for me because they put it in the mobile game as a Jade costume. Like, they just straight took this outfit, recolored it, and put Jade's head on it.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah, it's so... it doesn't... Like, it's another... The other thing that bothers me about that is that it's another of the times where they didn't make Jade's skin dark enough. And it's...
One of these days, I'm gonna have to sit down and see if I can spell NetherRealm Studios with the same letters that are in the phrase asset reuse. I'm sure I can. Continue.
But yeah, like, if they hadn't done that, like, number 1 is the most Deception reminiscent, and therefore, theoretically, the best one. I don't really have, like, any problems with number 2, the one they chose. In fact, I kind of appreciate that the pants flare out a little bit at the bottoms, because she did have, like, baggy bell-bottom pants in Deadly Alliance.
That's kind of why I like number 4 so much.
And all of these outfits, but especially number 2, do, sort of have more of a Chinese... I don't know, cut to them. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but they have...
Trim, perhaps?
Yeah, trim. Yeah, like the look, like the buckles across the... Like, the tailoring of it is more reminiscent of, like, something that someone would wear in a Shaw Brothers Kung Fu movie, compared to, like, what she actually had on in Deadly Alliance, which was a little more generic. So I do sort of appreciate them sort of strengthening the visual motifs, because she was always, like, that was what she was supposed to be, was like a character from a Shaw Brothers movie.
It's interesting because I think her Deadly Alliance concept art had something like that.
Yeah. She had a concept art where she was going to have more of like a... I don't know what that collar is called, where it sort of goes off at an angle and has the buckles across. But,
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Like, at some point I knew the term, but it's not in my head right now.
Yeah, same
Don't get old, folks. If you can avoid it, Don't turn 40. Things will start to slip out of your brain.
Something fire in which we all burn.
Yeah. Also, I want so when we skip ahead to Bo Raicho, we're gonna see that they based his face on Sammo Hung. Like they literally, you can find the picture they used in Google image search. It's a photo of him from Ip Man 2, I believe. I think this is Lucy Liu.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
I think they traced a photo of Lucy Liu for these Lee May concepts.
Why even hire motion capture actors?
Yeah, right? Okay, there it is, a color. Gold trim is nice. I like the pink belt. Kind of pops on all the shades of purple.
You know what? I would have gone with a different color.
You think so?
For the belt, that is. For the belt. I don't know,
I
maybe
feel like
something...
I'd have to check, but I feel like her one of her DA or Deception outfits kind of had this belt style where it was like it was a brighter color than the rest of the outfit and it popped like that.
Yeah, but like you said, just because it's a midway game doesn't mean everything's perfect.
Still,
I
I like...
got with something, I don't know, olive green maybe, I don't know. Something else.
I don't know about that.
Just a passing thought I'm having.
All right, here's some weird Tanya concepts.
Bees!
I don't know what this Bryan Singer shit on the left is.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's from her time in the Christian metal band Striper.
So number 2 here is the one they went with, although they changed the hairstyle to be more deception-y, which I appreciate because...
What is even that?
This, I don't know, Halle Berry Catwoman?
Yeah.
I don't...
It's not doing it for me.
That doesn't look like a haircut in the traditional sense. That just looks like sliced hair.
Yeah.
It doesn't look right.
It looks like, whatever barber she went to really butchered it. No,
it's like she was on the receiving end of like a Looney Tunes like afterburner plane effect or something. Just whoosh.
Yeah, here's the more fleshed out version. And they're still doing the short hair at this point, and yeah, it looks very Halle Berry to me.
This is more Halle Berry.
Not necessarily the touch point I think of when I think of like what actor I would get to play Tanya.
I would not use Halle Berry as a reference for Tanya of all people.
But yeah, we already talked about the outfit because she actually made it into the game. And here's their Serena concept. I believe, yeah, number 3 is the one they went with. Number 2, I think those are the same pants from the Lee May concepts.
I believe they are.
I'm not digging any of these.
I noticed
that... I can kind of get behind number 1 because it's mythologies-esque.
Yeah, she has the right loincloth, and the boots are more mythologies. The top, I prefer number 3 because the top is more mythologies. You've got the 3 buckles that are basically like a curved bone. I appreciate that being retained in the design.
You could take this into Photoshop very easily and just swap make it look better.
Yeah. The one thing I notice is that the only one of these that has arm tattoos is number 2. And they are not the tattoos from mythologies. They're some kind of elaborate, like, biker sleeve tattoos. And that's... So, obviously, as a Serena fan, I'm very picky. And, you know, there's an argument to be made that number 3 looks enough like her. And it's still an attractive design. But to me, mythologies was perfect. And there's no reason to fuck with something if it's already perfect, alright? I need the Shinnok Brotherhood logos tattooed on her arms. And I need... So, one of the things that really bugs me, because 12 did it as well, is that the ones around her eyes are supposed to come off the corners of her eyes. When you make them slash marks that go straight down the middle of the eye... That's what clowns wear. You know, that's Joaquin Phoenix Joker has triangles over the middles of his eyes, man. That is not... The shapes around her eyes are supposed to look like the curved parts on the Brotherhood logo. It's just... You know, there's a reason for thing when you're a concept artist. There's like just drawing things on autopilot and going by emotion. And then there's actually like asking, okay, what was the point of some of these design elements? Like, why does she have tattoos? Why are the tattoos the shapes they are? Why are they put where they are? And there are reasons for things in some of these characters that, like, John Tobias had. And when you're, like, 10, 20 years later, and you're some guy who's not John Tobias, and you're redesigning a character, I feel like maybe you should ask yourself, was there a reason John did this? And is there a good reason to retain that? That's all.
Welcome to where I live.
Tell you
Always,
what,
forever.
I really don't like number 4's fucking jacket with the shoulders and
Nope.
This feels like something someone in Blade would wear.
It's
very vampire.
Yeah, it kind of is. The top feels to me like an urban Earthrealmy thing. And then, like, from the waist down, I'm getting more of a Molina feel than anything else.
He's about to go to a blood rave.
Careful, we don't want to get copyrighted.
That'd be amazing if that actually happened.
Yeah, if the fucking AI decided that he was too close to the song.
I think that's happened before.
Not with what he just did.
Oh.
Alright, and there it is
The
in
corporations
color.
will find a way to make it so.
I appreciate... So, if you go back here, they forgot the white stripe in her hair. Fortunately, whoever colored it in remembered. Thank you for fixing it. You fucking saved the whole character. If they ever make a thing where Serena doesn't have a white stripe in her hair, that's it. I am going to go to Chicago with a gun. First them, then myself.
Murder? Suicide? Option 3, murder-suicide.
I have a question for you, Razor.
Okay.
Is it possible to make a Serena costume that's not mythologies that you would like?
Didn't you like her Armageddon one, pretty much? Not
Well,
as much as...
Not as much as, but it's alright. I think the problem with the Armageddon, like her alt costume, the one from Deadly Alliance Game Boy, is that it's low poly, you know, because it was unfinished, and they only made it as detailed as it needed to be ported into the Game Boy. But yeah, I didn't hate that one, and obviously I have some ideas for how I would, you know, a costume I would give her if I was, you know, designing a game. But honestly, like, this one isn't bad. I just don't like that the tattoos are wrong. That's the only thing, really. Because, I mean, if you really look at it, she has, like... Her leggings are so high that you could be tricked into believing they gave her pants, but actually, no, they just ride straight up to her crotch underneath the loincloth. Which is a little awkward, but I appreciate that they're not pants.
You know, Razor,
I feel like that would be uncomfortable.
You know, Razor, if they did do the tattoos, it'd be the version where it's just Quan's head at the top.
See, that's another problem with this
game. The monkey's paw will curl, Razor.
Mean, she does have the right logo on the loincloth. That's not Quan Chi's head.
So what? They drew that. That's not what they went with.
All right, let's keep going.
I actually think this in story mode. Doesn't she have this? She doesn't have Quan Chi's logo on her loincloth in story mode.
She probably doesn't.
I'm
but-
looking. I'm hunting.
I would have noticed. I know she doesn't. All right, that's all of them. All right, this is NPCs. We don't really have to go through these. I just want to say that I do like the designs for the Shirai Ryu. And let's see.
They're all perfectly serviceable.
Does one of these have the Lin Kuei? Because
Rain. Fujin.
these are all demons. I like the
Nope.
monster horses from story mode. Those are cool. Where?
We talked about Fujin in story mode, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, hang on. I don't think the concept art for the Lin Kuei is in here.
I mean, maybe it's those guys.
I'm pretty sure it's not. Those are just more Shirai Ryu. But yeah, I really like the designs of the Lin Kuei NPCs in this because they hewed very closely to the ones they had already had in Armageddon. And you know, continuity. I'm all about it.
Maybe one day we'll once again see those Shao Kahn goons from Armageddon.
So
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
So let's talk about these Barakas because number 2 here ended
Number
up reused
2
in 11, didn't it?
Yeah, I noticed that just like last fucking week.
Yeah.
Like belt thing with the spikes all over
Oh
the
yeah,
shoulder.
the big the
shirtless.
belt that covers the entire abdomen.
Even down to like the forearms having like 2 little extra ones on either side of the main blade.
Yeah,
And
that is-
sandals.
that is an 11. And like I gotta say, I am not a fan of the little porcupiney spikes that he can shoot out of his shoulders in 11. I think
Yeah,
that's
me
fucking
neither.
gross.
I feel like blades out of the forearms are enough, man.
Yeah.
I don't need blades and bones and shit and bits and bobs coming out of every conceivable orifice. It actually works. It's more believable in 12, where it's a goddamn disease. I can believe that. But I don't need this
I don't.
whole works, generally.
Baraka is already Wolverine. He does not need to be Marrow as well.
Thank you, that's what I'm saying.
That's a good
Yeah.
way to put it.
Yeah.
Snick bubs.
Anyway, number 1 here has the white with red trim V from MK2. It's not bad actually.
Let me see.
But I
something.
am glad that they
the
went with the more
the shading
versus
doesn't-
DC-esque breastplate. I am glad that they went that direction instead. Because he can't have the fucking the red trim wife beater all of the time. You know, he's got to wear some other stuff once in a while.
I will say this is too close to your traditional ninja V again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to like the old school Baraka outfit was like, they were more like cloth straps
It was
that wrapped over the shoulders as opposed to a ninja V.
it was so loose. It was kind of like it was a cross between a wife beater and a karate gi. In 2, I would say.
You know what number 1 really is?
Because
It's
it looks like
a revenant.
low and worn out and baggy.
1 is like a revenant Baraka that never was, I think.
Yeah, it has a lot more like ridges in the face area too. Like it kind of reminds me of Annihilation's Tarkatans.
Honestly, it doesn't even register as like the white wife beater because the shading doesn't look white to me. It just
Yeah,
looks like it's supposed to be like a darker color.
It's gray.
There's some kind of like
I mean, it's
I
hard
don't
to tell
know,
things in
red
black and white in
trim.
general.
Yeah. And I
You know,
can
I-
tell his skin just fine.
Number 4, they didn't even finish the legs on.
That's funny. I do kind of like the weird like
That's true. He was halfway through it. No, this is
It just gave up.
I mean, like, look at what he's wearing for a belt. I'd give up too. That's
Yeah,
looks like
the
shit.
belt is not. I kind of like the.
I do like the rib cage thing.
Yeah,
here.
the ribcage thing could be cool. I could see that working in a different outfit, like in the future or something.
if you cover everything below the ribcage, this is the start of something cool.
Yeah. Alright, there it is, more fleshed out. There it is in color but blue for some reason, and that's what they actually went with.
So I don't actually really like this costume very much. I think the breastplate looks kind of boring.
I don't know, I
And
find it to
don't-
be... It's reminiscent of Deception. Like, I feel like it's...
No, but Deception's better.
Deception does have... Like, I wish it had the spines for shoulder straps. That would be the one thing that I would add.
The ropes are boring as shit. Do the spines.
I particularly don't like the bicep rope because it just looks like he just like lashed a torn, tattered piece of fabric around his bicep and called it a day. And I'm like,
Yeah, what the fuck?
what did you do that for?
It does raise the question of why, but I don't mind all the ropes because it sort of makes him look piratey to me. Like, it reminds me of, like, a ship's rigging for some reason. And it kind of fits with the fact that most of the time we see the Tarkatans in story mode is associated with the Cove. Like that flashback with Liu Kang and Kung Lao and Raiden.
If we'd gotten, like, a Baraka as a pirate captain or something like that, and
yeah,
we'd seen more and we'd never seen Tarkatans at sea, I'd be like, yeah, this is pretty fucking cool, and if we ever get a scene in a game where, like, Baraka's out on the high seas for I'd absolutely love to see.
Yeah, I feel like there's an untapped potential for, like, Pirate Captain Baraka.
That's where he should have fucking gone after the Civil War. Fuck this.
I could totally
These
see
people
that
are
happening.
insane.
Yeah. Alright, here's the Bo Right Show concepts. Bald would have been a mistake.
Oh god, that is terrible.
Yeah.
Number 2 is what we got. Number 3 reminds me of his alt costume in Deadly Alliance, where his like big jiggling gut is sticking out, but this is like a more
I kind of like it. I especially like the shoulder pads.
Yeah, this is like a more mature version of it. It looks a little more like a...
I actually really hate number 3. I feel like he stole someone else's clothes.
Well, I feel like, so I wouldn't do it for a primary costume. But if there was ever, like, a flashback to a younger Bo Raicho competing in a martial arts tournament or something...
Like, it that way.
Like, it reminds me a lot of what somebody might wear in like, MK1. Like, 1992, like, a background character in the Tobias comic would probably have something like this, because Tobias loved drawing guys with, like, studded wristbands and stuff.
The wristbands aren't what I have a problem with. I guess it's
it does
the
like
shirt thing.
Yeah, the open shirt does make him feel younger, and especially like with his hair down like that, it does feel like a Bo Raicho from the past somehow.
It's the midlife crisis Bo. He's still rocking like the outfits he used to wear in his like mid-teens.
Yeah.
I like number 4 though.
Number 4 is all right, but it feels a little plain to me. Like I would put a jacket on over top of the shirt. Or a vest, maybe. Like 2 has a vest, and it's kind of adds a little something. I don't know.
The emblem is a good touch.
Yeah, the emblem's all right.
I like how prominent it actually is for a change.
I could also see, like, if the sleeves weren't ripped off and he had, like, baggy sleeves like he does in Deadly Alliance, that could work.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not bad. But I do think of these, I think they picked the right one. I think number 2... sort of, it has the most detail without being busy to the point of distraction.
I agree. And we can all agree number 1 is a fucking mistake.
Yeah, I don't want to look at it anymore.
Even if you ignore that he's bald, the shirt looks like a medieval peasant. I don't know.
If you talk to him, he just says the same thing over and over until you go away.
Like, the wrists of the pants aren't... Like, the shins, the wrappings on the shins remind me of a Shaolin monk. Like, this feels like it could be a master from the Shaolin Temple, but not Bo Raicho.
Oh, it can be one of those guys in Conquest and Deception.
Yeah.
Master Shen or Wen.
Totally. And then here it is in color, but oddly enough, like... So here at the concept art stage, they were going to give him, like, gray hair?
But then they remembered he's from Outworld.
And he doesn't age that much, yeah. Also, One thing I prefer in the concept art is that he has the little mustache and goatee from Deadly Alliance, and in the actual game they gave him the full beard from Deception. And I prefer the little goatee.
I always go back and forth whether I prefer the goatee or the beard.
Yeah, I mean, you can go either way.
I like both.
I feel
like dependent.
Both works for him, but the beard feels a little more like I've been on a bender and I'm not taking care of myself this week. Whereas the nice trimmed goatee is a little more put together and a little more clean. And I think it's just you could do story stuff with that, where like, he has the little goatee when he's training students, and he grows out the beard maybe after he hears Liu Kang died and he's depressed, something like that.
Alt costumes, there's no reason we can't have both.
Yeah, you could have both. I mean, not with DLC and MKX, because they didn't have alt skins, but it could totally work in another game, yeah.
There have to be mods from out by now.
Here's Fujin. Number 1 was the one we got.
And it's the best one.
Yeah. It has the most in common with mythologies, I feel.
Number 2 feels very Armageddon.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Number 2 reminds me a lot of Armageddon. And I think 3 and 4 are fine, but they're a little generic. I think giving him a costume that's more reminiscent of his previous appearances is the way to go. The thing I particularly like is the headband, because Mythologies is the only game he ever wore a headband before, and it's nice to see that brought back and referenced.
That's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
I did like that. I always forget about that little detail.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of them here are really quite bad, but yeah,
there's just something a little
like.
There's
I
something
don't like
a little
the
generic.
Aquaman, Captain America scale mail on number 4.
Yeah, number 4. I don't know why there's scales on the the pattern is scales. That's an odd choice.
When I looked at them, I don't think I think I see scales. I think it's. Oh, it's
I mean, you could argue that it's like wavy or clouds.
I think that's what I'm seeing. It's like it's supposed to be a wave pattern, but I can get why you'd see scales.
Yeah,
it's like a bunch of Bart Simpsons, but only the top of their heads.
Well, now you're ruining it.
Good. It sucks.
Anyway, here it is in color.
Fujin should totally start saying "Don't have a cow." That should be his thing. Tries to be cool. Starts using outdated Earth terminology.
Yeah, he's always just like 30 years behind in the slang.
I totally believe that Fujin watches The Simpsons.
This is the man out of the entire cast who is most likely to say cowabunga in a sentence.
I feel that Fujin has good taste and would totally know that the Simpsons stopped being good after like season 8.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
I am still salty that they removed all the intros from 11 that are about him liking Johnny's movies. That is such a bummer.
So good.
All right, who else?
Just looking at him makes us happy.
Yeah, Fujin's great. Fujin's so much better than Raiden.
Really
I'm honestly shocked they didn't bring this costume back for 11.
Well, I think I like. I think I like all of his 11.
Fades into the past, they hate it.
Yeah, I like all of his 11 outfits better though. I don't know. Maybe one day we'll do 11, but we'll only look at Fujin. That way we don't have to be depressed.
For me. 15-minute episode.
Here's some Rain rough sketches.
What the hell is that thing on the right?
I don't know what the hell.
The one on the right is clearly not finished. The one in the middle's face appears to be melting.
It's fucked
Are we
up.
sure these
Why is his mouth that way? Why is his head that way?
Yeah.
Dude,
Are we sure these aren't like Soul Reaver characters or something?
Dude, the middle design looks like a fucking crew member on fucking Davy Jones's ship.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
I feel like the first thing that they came up with was the voice. He has to sound like he's underwater, and then patterned everything after that. He is a Cthulhu now. What is going on?
All right, well, I'm pretty sure the first one is the one they went with.
It is.
Here's some more.
I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at.
So I gotta say, if you're a concept artist, can you please not paint in grays like this? Can you please use your pencil and make things clean so I can see what the fucking outfit's supposed to be?
I feel like out of all of these, only number 3 is recognizable.
I can't be doing with this. We gotta, there we go. So, I like shirtless Rain with the shoulder cape.
Yeah.
It's a good outfit.
It's, the shoulder cape especially makes it reminiscent of Armageddon, and I feel like Rain is the kind of guy who would be like, check out my sick fucking pecs.
He wouldn't need to, because he's already checking out his own sick fucking pecs.
Yeah, right? I do think it's interesting that his wrist and shin guards have like shuriken shaped cutouts. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, like stars or something.
I feel like you could have thought of a shape that has to do with the water.
I mean, his
maybe he
mask
fires
has an
water
anchor on it, Razor.
Maybe he channels water blasts through them. I don't know.
He does have the little dagger. That's another Armageddon reference, I feel like.
I love the idea of Rain walking around with a little dagger and shanking people.
Yeah. There's a lot of Armageddon in this design in general. Like his crown being attached to a veil for a mask, his hair sticking out. Those are things that were not in 9, but are in Armageddon.
Honestly, the guy kind of lucked out in terms of costumes all the way from Armageddon to
The one thing,
I don't think he had a bad one.
The one thing that I don't know if I'm feeling is that his hair is in cornrows. I don't know.
Is it?
That yeah, you can tell
on
it better
the back
on the
of it.
You can tell it better on the actual in-game character model. But yeah,
like from the colored one, you can't really see it, but the black and white one on the right, you can kind of tell.
I don't know that I'm seeing cornrows so much as straps on the back of the helmet.
I don't think those are straps.
Are you looking at the top of the back of his head or the bottom of the back of his head?
Top of the back. I feel like I'm seeing one set of vertical straps with a second over them.
That's his hair.
That's not on the.
That
other.
is
maybe
that
I'm
is,
going blind.
That is hair in the shape of straps because it's a muddy drawing. This is the problem with the painted art style. You can't see fine detail. I hate painted concept art. Just do clean pencils. Fuck.
No.
Anyway, that's all of the NPCs. I mean, we looked at the Oni. I like the horse.
Go through them quickly. We did
Yeah,
indeed.
how do you feel about these bone helmets growing on these guys?
I like them, but they look better eyeless.
Yeah,
Creepier.
I could get behind that. They remind me of, there's a lot of demons in Brutal Legend that are just a big mouth, you know, the mouth of Sauron kind of thing. And I'm into it. It's definitely creepy and demonic, and that's, yeah, the aesthetic works.
That's very Fishman.
Yeah, it is. That's a piranha demon of some kind.
I don't like it.
All right, some takes on the horse.
They didn't do Motaro dead because I have no bones.
Yeah. Quan Chi should have been riding the zombie of Motaro.
Now that we've suggested it, they're legally unable to do it. We'll never see it.
That is well, here's the solution. Never kill Motaro. Put him in every game.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to worry about the fact that we'll sue you if you make him a zombie.
Now we've given you the idea to use sue us. Okay, now.
Actually, wait. Maybe the yeah, maybe the Lin Kuei are. Yeah, here they are.
Woo!
Yeah, these are basically the Armageddon designs, but up-resed. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Looking good.
Devora's apartment. She's paying rent for this?
I wonder.
I'm still trying to find this duck picture.
Does she have a bathroom or a kitchen or?
I don't think Devora uses the bathroom. I
feel like apartment isn't the right word for this place.
Do insects go to the bathroom? That's such a weird question.
She has a hive. Why does she need an apartment?
So the text here says, as a high-ranking member of Shao Kahn's regime, since when was she high-ranking? If she's so high-ranking, how come she hasn't been in a game before this one?
Continue reading.
All right, as a high-ranking member, yeah, the Outworld equivalent of a penthouse suite. If you say so, game. If you say so. So here's the ship from the cove.
Ooh, go back to it. I like the eye on the side.
Yeah.
We don't really get to see any of this in the game, except for this interior here where they're kept in cages.
I wish it was more reminiscent of something like an actual dragon, but I guess it's nice to know that they're actually going some kind of creature.
You know what they should have used is the nether ship, because Shang had more than one, right?
I was about to say,
like, I would assume that he got the nether ships in Shao Kahn's service. Like, he was given the, you gotta bring people to the tournament, here are some boats. So Shang Tsung's boats, or Shao Kahn's boats, should be nether ships. But, yeah. That's just a boat. It's got kind of like a... I don't know what the design on the front would be.
It wants to be something. It's not anything in particular.
It almost looks more like a rhinoceros than I assume it's supposed to be like a dragon or some kind of shark opening its mouth on the front, because there are like...
There's the suggestion of teeth.
Yeah, there's teeth, but this upturned horn is not... It's bent too much to be the top of a jaw. I don't know.
It's an expressionist's boat.
Yeah, it's all very...
But now you give me the notion of having sea rhinos. I like that.
Yeah, sea rhinos could be fun. Alright, Jax's farm. We all like Jax's farm.
We do.
These sure are farm assets.
Well, this is the...
That sure is a naked T-pose.
This is the no texture version, yeah. Early. That's a tractor. Tractor.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. These are the concept arts that I don't like looking at. They're boring.
It's go back.
I mean, here's the signs that are
old
posted
sector SketchUp. It was so fun to actually.
Uncle Cyrax Stone Ground Mustard.
LK44 engine. This is fun. This is the kind of fun shit I like. Kano's image in a background in one stuff, and MK12 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Go to the
billboard of Suhao's watch company in 11.
Yeah, right.
These are fun Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Right.
I like the little Sonya Blade clipping.
Yeah.
This is charming.
For the most part, it's just a fucking barn.
It's a barn, but it's a neat barn.
That's a terrible picture of Jackie, by the way. She was plainly just woke up.
Well, you remember that shot at the end of the MKX comic where Jax is like giving her
the
first
demented gun picture.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of reminded of here. Yeah, so here's some Kotal locations. Here's his Oshtek soldiers.
You know, it's a shame.
We got number 2.
There is concept art out there of a stage that didn't make it in the game, but it's not. The concept art itself is not in the game.
Yeah, it was going to be a Shokan stage, like the exterior of the Kuatad Palace or something like that.
It looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, there's like these enormous, like 50-foot tall statues of Shokan wrestling each other and stuff. Like,
yeah, and like
there's like belly dancers and a guy beating a gong, and
they're like beating a drum, and they got like a fucking like something in each of all four of their hands beating on the drum.
Yeah, yeah, it's like
it would have been amazing.
It's like a cross between the Deadly Alliance drum arena and like a Goron city from Legend of Zelda.
It's fucking great.
It's pretty good, and it's a shame that didn't make it into the game.
I'd rather they have that than fucking the destroyed city.
So,
keep hurting my soul.
How often do you think Sub-Zero has to like remake this chair because it melted?
Do you think he gets stuck on it? What if he was sweaty?
Did the previous did Sector not have a chair? Did he destroy his dad's chair, and that's why Sub-Zero has to sit in an ice one?
Maybe Sector's dad fought it in it all the time.
Robots don't sit down; their legs don't get tired. Yeah,
I'd wager he gives it a touch-up once a day, keeps it fresh.
All right, so this is only used in the Kitana and Liu Kang scene at the end of the post credits. But I don't know. I could have gone for a Shinnok throne room, just this but one chair.
Here, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's actually for Shinnok throne room for another one. It's surprisingly restrained.
Yeah, it's kind of boring.
Yeah, honestly, it's just kind of they took some of the same architecture, the same shapes from the Shao Kahn throne in the previous game, because it's just center, windows to the back of them, columns, the same places.
I will say it, the Bone Temple is an improvement.
Yeah, I like the Bone Temple.
It's an improvement. But the Bone Temple itself could also use an improvement.
Okay, so we talked about this is the part of Raiden's Sky Temple with the photos.
This is where the naked men wander into the temple.
And here are the photos. So
they
these
look
are
shitty.
Past Raiden's champions who are dead now, and the faces are not super well painted. In fact, I'm tempted to believe that these are
I don't even
CG renders that have been touched up with paint.
I mean, I don't think that Johnny one is touched up with paint. I think that that's just a really low poly model. Same.
Well, I think
they're all shitty low poly models, bro. I don't know. I don't think they used any touch up on them. Maybe the Lin Kuei guy.
I'm seeing a little the texture signs that feel to me like someone has done some art, but not so much on the faces and parts of especially the female Kenshi seems like they did very little touching up on. So we've got Liu Kang, Kung Lao, great Kung Lao. And then this guile-looking army guy is, I believe, I don't know where we learned it. I think it's is it in the text?
There's not. The Great Kung Lao does kind of have a Bolo Young thing in the face.
Okay, yeah, he does. It says right here in the text, along with prominent images of Liu Kang and Kung Lao, we also created portraits of the Great Kung Lao, the founder of the Lin Kuei, as well as ancestors of Johnny Cage and Kenshi. So army
they've
guy
had a
here.
hard on for Army era World War II Johnny Cage for a long time.
I don't think that the founder of the Lin Kuei needed to be a Sub-Zero.
I can kind of understand.
I can buy. Go on.
There is stuff in Deception where when Shujinko talks to the Lin Kuei, they say may the ice dragon bless you or some shit like that. That's sort of, you're asking why would the old Lin Kuei that Sub-Zero doesn't run have references to ice in their their blessing or whatever, their fucking their catchphrasery. And it's sort of the dragon part of it kind of makes sense because their symbol, the dragon medallion that the Grandmaster wears, has a dragon on it and is named after dragons. But the ice part, I don't know. I always got sort of the impression that maybe they were implying when Kuai Liang took over the clan, he was sort of reclaiming it for his ancestors, whether he knew it or not. That, like, maybe the founder was a cryomancer. And so this game just kind of coming out and confirming it did not, like, break anything for me.
I can believe it. I can buy it. He doesn't necessarily have to have been a Sub-Zero. He could have just, been a guy that controls the cold. I'm okay with this because he's not straight up like the Sub-Zero mask and the Javi and everything. I can buy it. When I look at World War II Johnny or whoever this... Okay, I have to squint a little bit harder. Yes, he's wearing aviators. Because Johnny wears shades. Okay, fine. I think it's very silly, but whatever.
I actually...
Now, when I look at Lady Kenshi over, I start asking myself, did Cabal's grandmother also have a mask? Could she also summon Buzzsaw?
Yeah,
did Jax's great-grandfather have metal arms? It's getting ridiculous.
The fact that she's also wearing a red blindfold is the dumbest shit.
I mean, even the rest of the
because Kenshi didn't go blind automatically in order to use his powers. He went blind by accident because Shang Tsung fucking tricked him. It's not a Destiny thing that everyone who uses Sento must be blind, alright? That's fucking stupid. The other thing is, if she's like Kenshi's ancestor from feudal Japan, why does her outfit look like a fucking spacesuit?
Yeah.
It's so bad. I actually like the idea that Johnny's dad or grandpa was military. I think that slots in super well with his known backstory. And it kind of fits, like, maybe why he's attracted to Sony a little bit. But, I don't know, because there's, like... So the original backstory we had for Johnny Cage back in '92 was that he, like, trained with, secret masters of the martial arts in the East before he became a movie star. And that's why he has, superpowers. He's key energy shadow stuff. And I always wondered how he would have, like, met those people. Like, how did he end up training in China or Japan if he's, like, a guy from California? And as shallow as he is. And the idea that I sort of hit upon in my head, based on, like, if you look at the backstory of, like, Ken's dad in Street Fighter, like, how Ken ended up training with Gouken, is that his dad had, like, I don't know, served in, like, Japan in World War II or something like that, or maybe his grandpa, some way in which that an American would have met some Japanese people or some Koreans if it was the Korean War.
We should look at more concept art.
We should.
Please stop rushing me. I don't like when you do that.
How much do we have to get?
I don't want to feel like I'm being, I'm giving a thank you speech at the Jeff Keighley Awards, all right?
Well, you are.
You're such an asshole. All right.
Thank you.
All right. So, another comparison I would make is like John Kreese's backstory in Cobra Kai. He learned karate because he met people while serving overseas in the war. I think that Johnny's dad probably did that, and that's how Johnny ended up learning martial arts. Anyway.
I have one question.
Okay.
Do we think that Kano's great-grandfather had, like, an iridescent arc lamp for an eye?
No.
Yes.
And it was, like, 3 times the size of the rest of the head.
Of course he did.
Is that how these things work? Okay.
So here's a weird question.
Yep.
Why does this portal to Raiden's Sky Temple have a Shokan on the door?
Is that a Shokan?
Looks like a Shokan to me. Stick figure of 4 arms.
I thought it was like a bug.
It's close, but like the angle that the, I guess, arms and legs are at is different from your traditional Shokan logo.
It is slightly different. Though. It is slightly different from the Goro belt buckle, but it is still a four-armed stick figure.
Are we sure this isn't a character for something?
Here's Kenshi seeing the runes on the wall of the cutscene. Yeah, see, there's the door with the portal. Anyway, this cave is a cave. Not much to say about it.
This cave is a cave.
This is Special Forces base. A helicopter. Fucking army guys. They look like army guys. This is the inside of the Combat Kids dragon jet. It should have been a dragon jet. It would have been way more interesting.
Yeah, Joe.
Not much to say about all this. All right, let's see some stuff that the characters could have worn but didn't. So, you can find on, like, ArtStation and Google searches some more elaborate versions of these early Cassie Cages. Like this top left one, the idea was that she'd be like a WWE diva.
The road thankfully not taken.
I don't hate it, actually.
I don't know what's going on in most of these, but I think I can't stand all of it.
You know, you could do pants, but I kind of like the star logo bra.
Yeah.
And like dyeing her hair pink, I could see even the Cassie we got doing that. I could have gone for that, maybe.
I feel like parts of 3 and 4 wound up being Farah.
Yeah, there's a lot of Farah on the right-hand side, but so there's
especially the way that they're drawn.
So there's a more elaborate version of 3 and 4 where she was gonna have like she could remote control a mech. Glad they didn't do that one.
Oh my god, is she wearing toe shoes in number 2?
Yeah, let's not think about that.
Change the channel!
Let's see, we've got the Cassies we got. Already talked about that, so... Devora.
I like that first image, that sneer that she's got going on. That's a good facial expression.
Yeah. Looks like it's Devora. Personality. So I recall Smokeman saying that there were nipples in this concept art, and
no, it's a later one. It's a later one.
Oh, is it?
Oh God,
it is right there. Look at that.
I don't see nipples.
You don't see that? There's like areola there. You want to be more specific?
There is a texture.
Yeah,
that could pass for an areola, but a nipple is more than just the areola, sir.
Oh, Jesus, you fucking little bitch. Oh, my God.
How many episodes and we're still discussing Devora's genitals and naughty bits?
Look, design is talking about more than just the parts that don't make you uncomfortable, all right? This is part of art, you know? I've done studio art. I've drawn naked people, and I kept my mouth shut and acted like an adult about it.
Those naked people weren't bug people. There wasn't at least I hope they weren't.
If they had been, I would have thrown up in private and kept it to myself.
You're a better man than I. I'm just saying, if you have to talk about Squick, there's some perfectly good Squick going on dead center.
We were talking about that she has grooves to unhinge her jaw, but never does in the game. There it is.
Mm-hmm. That's good shit.
I kind of like the appendage on like the down left. Down left, yeah. I kind of it's like a weird like sucker thing.
She has like a xenomorph mouth thing in her stomach.
Actually, does look really freaky.
I kind of can you imagine like a fatality where she like sucks their brains out or some shit like that?
I prefer that they went with the ones coming out
stinger?
of her back.
I mean, there's no reason you can't have both.
It's not, but I don't want to.
I feel like she'd do something weird with number 1, like it would eat your stomach.
Yeah,
some weird shit like that.
Something.
I don't know.
Like sucking their blood out like a mosquito.
I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
A lot.
That first sketch looks like a completely different character.
It does.
That second one looks like some weird Cinnabite.
It's got like demon horns.
It looks like that Sith character, like the Star Wars.
Darth Talon.
Darth Talon. There's a Darth Talon.
The red Twi'lek. Yeah.
That's the one.
Can you go back to the
God, do we have to?
Previous one? What's up with this shit on the right? Where she's got like crab pincers and shit, and
that is a sketch of where her back claws, how they would work, and they changed it. They changed it.
This was front. They changed it from the front to the back. They plainly wanted to have shit coming out of her abdomen first, and they were like, no, out of the back would be.
Yeah, the back makes more sense for like the leg-shaped claw things. Like she does still shoot like bugs out of the hole in her stomach, but yeah.
Let me read the text.
No.
These appendages could be what's beneath her anatomy.
Each pair,
theoretically would be seen one at a time. This drawing.
For the sole purpose of idea. Okay.
So yeah, they were thinking about having them be pincers instead of stabbers. I prefer the stabbers.
The stabbers are way better.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the bugs that come out of her.
Ew, I don't like that. I don't like number 2 on the top left.
Yes. Number 2 was like a bloodworm, and I like how creepy number 3 is because it has beetle characteristics, but also worm characteristics.
Yeah.
It's very alien.
Yeah. All right. And this is the they spelled her name wrong.
Might have been an early alternate spelling.
I guess. Yeah, so these are the big flies that hover around her, and then we've got a shot of like the stinger that comes out of her hand.
I kind of like the Resident Evil creepy crawler on the bottom right.
Yeah. The big eyeball with legs.
Yet satisfying.
All right, that's it for Devora.
Pain.
Bloody shit. Got like hands coming out of him, and that, like middle left one. Yeah, ghost hands. I don't hate that actually. It looks creepy.
This is that bit of art, or inspired by that bit of art, or whatever that was going around with Ermac having a giant head thing outfit from a couple of years back.
Yeah,
it is kind of interesting how these look very similar to that.
The pointy scarecrow hood I could do without. I do like that they've got like the top left here has like a study, like a graphic design clean version of his chest logo. If you look really close, there's a shot of him from Deception where they're trying to make the logo match the red stripes on his primary from Deception.
Mm-hmm.
Some more studies, bloody sketches. Here's actual costume stuff. None of these are too different from each other.
Oh, so they had a kind of a finalized. Yeah, they clearly knew where they wanted to take the guy.
Yeah, they were definitely doing a hooded trench coat no matter what.
Ew, I hate this entire page.
Yes,
that's the thing. Like, I want to find something kind to say, but all of this is rooted so very deeply in Mummy Ermac.
Yeah, they're hyper fixating on the mummy stuff. Like he's got like mummy wraps are bursting open in the top left, and like and
he's got like a Freddy Krueger chest.
Yeah, that's not what I would do. And then he's got like all these top row ones are like, what if like I was talking about, why does he have the logo bolted to his skin? And it's because you can see from the green glow underneath the idea that he's, like, trying to burst open, like the souls are trying to escape from him. And it's, like, holding him together.
The top right one is fucking weird. Like, the stature, the height, like,
yeah.
I don't know,
very zombie.
The head shroud, the head shroud actually makes him look like Igor or some
Yeah,
shit.
I'm not digging any of this really. Yeah,
More of the same.
more
All
of the
of
same.
it's just,
I'm looking at my phone until we're done with Ermac.
Okay.
I'm just seeing proof of concepts for Iron Maiden covers. Let's keep going.
Oh,
all right,
look at
here's
that.
Aaron.
Those baby blues.
Yeah, very handsome.
I know Aaron's got some wild early
Oh yeah, there's a lot of like
a lot to take in here.
So in these early concepts, there's a lot of Cabal elements. Like several, like they for a long time were thinking about giving giving Aaron a gas mask. And yeah, like a lot of these early designs, he's got like sand coming out of his hands. Like they were going to give him powers before they decided no, those should be those glass bombs he throws instead.
There's so much that's actually really interesting here on multiple, like the glowing eyes and the one.
Yeah, more of
the
like
glowing
a
fist all the way on the right.
Like some kind of haunted supernatural cowboy was a lot of.
Yeah, there's a haunted supernatural thing. Like,
Yeah.
there's a definite like Western Ghost Rider feel to a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's go back. The really interesting one is like the fucking almost quasi mountaineer guy in the right, left, lower second to the right, with the goggles and like the
mustache guy.
Mustache guy.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
I feel like this is interesting.
Yeah, so they explored
I could believe
a lot
that
of,
could still be its own character, honestly.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily have two Wild West rifle guys.
No. I mean, I'm not saying that.
But
Maybe...
I agree. There's like there's the seed of interesting still present here that we haven't used, right?
I think you could do a thing with like if Aaron were to like fall on hard times and disappear into the wasteland for several years and then come back, he could, rock the beard. I think that would be fun.
I'm imagining a slightly disheveled, desperate, somewhat unshaven Aaron Black, and it's funny for reasons I can't explain.
Yeah.
Groovy.
Yeah, so we're still playing with gas mask ideas. He definitely looks like Cabal with hat and guns.
Lower middle looks really cool.
Only one I'm really not feeling is top left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's established that we really need to give this guy a hat.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know why they didn't just draw
more like
the second head on him.
Yeah,
the
like
second head there looks more interesting.
When you give him this like mohawky look, he's more of a Viking with guns instead of an actual Wild West guy.
He sucks.
There appear to be
that look never looks good in anything.
Yeah, there appear to be like tribal tattoos on his head too. It's all very Viking. Oh, I do kind of like this picture right next to Mohawk guy, where his like head is wrapped up like a Tusken Raider.
I mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so here's more of a bandana stuff. We're getting closer to the final image of our cowboy, our Wild West outlaw.
The bowler hat's interesting.
They were really leading on the shirtless angle for a while.
The bowler hat's a little Seamus McFly for me, but it's fits the period.
I could see him tipping that with the tip of his gun.
Yeah.
Next one.
All right, here's
That's this the alt.
The fact
it
that
looks better than the alt, honestly.
Yeah,
it's the hair really makes it work.
Yeah, they gave the longer hair. I think it's interesting it's dyed black, because now he's like more of a goth cowboy.
This actually really works for me.
I don't hate it.
A lot of old school ladies' goth outfits are like, specifically Sisters of Mercy stuff is really rooted in like that black hat cowboy stuff. So this actually hits all. I like this.
I could see it. Yeah. And there's the primary. I do appreciate, like, in the concept art he doesn't have it, but the final version of the Tarkatan sword has a skeletal hand hanging onto the handle. Like,
Agreed.
It
It's
is an
way
improvement.
cooler like that.
I find it a little weird that here in the concept art, his pistol has a sight. I don't know how often you, like, hold a pistol up close to your eye so you can look down the lens.
I guess it's like... What's the word I'm looking for here? It's an extra utility. It's something that you have on hand. You know, it's a Swiss Army knife of guns.
It's not
you just have it not because you need it, but because sometimes you just want to look down his sight.
It's not very Old West, though. I appreciate his, like, antique-looking golden revolvers in the actual game. Yeah. See? There it is.
Antique looking is the key, right? Like
it's almost kind of steampunk.
It's still rooted in that, like, kind of weird, otherworldly not quiteness. I can almost believe this is the gun he threw together himself in Outlaw.
Yeah, this is definitely handmade. Like, I like that these little notes here say that, like, the hammer is actually like a pinball thing. All right, that was Aaron. So we've got a Ferritor here.
We already discussed some of this.
Yeah, I wanna specifically see if we can find. Did they include any of the demon idea?
They did not.
Farah didn't have a lower.
Oh,
body.
that little creepy bald version of Farah is not right.
Oh yeah,
right.
yeah. The top right where he's got.
Oh, she's wearing a skull. That's it.
I actually like the skull.
I like the idea that she's on it like it's like a child swing set kind of thing hanging off the chain.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
I kind of like that.
But no, the demon ones are not in the game.
That's a shame.
You have to look at those online.
Okay.
And I did put them in the last video, I believe. Or not the last video. You know what I'm talking about.
All right. Primary, alternate.
Yep.
Yeah, Ferritor.
We did discuss a lot of that.
Yeah. Jackie,
I really like the middle one of the set on the top left.
Yeah, they tried some weird stuff with Jackie before
I think that looks really cool.
Before they committed to military. She's got like an urban samurai kind of thing going on in some of these. Like she wears a sword.
That's actually an angle I would have loved to have seen Kenshi take. Takeda.
I love the hairstyle. I love the like poncho thing she's got on. It looks fucking sick.
I would love to know like what they were thinking story-wise when they were drawing these more street ones. Cuz that could have been a direction to go.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe we'll never know. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff in the everywhere but the bottom left the bottom right where they actually did what they did.
Yeah, it's a snooze fest down there.
Maybe they were thinking, I don't know, it's too easy and obvious to like black girl all hip in front of the streets and shit. And I gotta confess, like I kind of feel that way about Kimberly in Street Fighter 6. Like, I've seen this archetype 1,000 million times. And so they tried to do something different, but it wasn't interesting enough. That's my read of it.
I really like Kimberly, in a sense.
Yeah, me too. Also, like, Street Fighter is more like, street-oriented. It's in the name. So, like...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like,
I feel that's fine.
But there's also a lot of things outside of that street. Like whatever the hell Q is. And whatever 12 is.
We're never getting Q, man.
6 in particular.
Let me believe!
6 in particular is very urban and graffiti themed, so...
I mean, it's a return. It's a call back to how influential 3 turned out being.
But I don't know.
For a lot of years, 3 was the black sheep of that series for everyone who wasn't a competitive player.
There's something about the idea of like a Jackie who's like a normal person, but is like put into a situation of like I don't know what these suggest, that there's like maybe there's outworlders invading all the time in the cities, just running wild, and nobody's like doing anything about it. So you have to like fight to survive, and that
They
she's
have
like
that
geared up.
destroyed city stage, for fuck's sakes. Put it to good use.
Yeah, you know, like we don't, you know, they've never done a great job of exploring the cleanup that would need to happen after an invasion like happened in MK3 or MK4, you know? Like, imagine a world where after Shao Kahn is killed, Outworld doesn't have a clear command structure, and randos are just doing whatever the fuck they want, attacking other realms sometimes, and sometimes the citizens of those cities, you know, like New York is still kind of a mess at the end of 3. How long did that take to rebuild? The stage, the army stage that's in this game, that it's like this camp that's set up for the refugees, Lee May's people. There is a city skyline in the background of that stage. This army camp is next to a city. And I kind of want to know more about that. We never will. Anyway. Here's some designs for her, like, gloves and whatnot. Glad they didn't go with that
the
hairstyle.
Iron Man.
The bottom right hairstyle. I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah, that doesn't look very good.
I'm really glad we didn't get whatever, like, repulsor blast thing in her hand is going on.
Right.
It kind of looks like she's wearing one of Sector's or Cyrax's forearms in the middle one.
Yeah, it does.
There.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Hey, here's the ones we got, but in different colors. I could have gone for that like autumn color of camo there, the like orangey.
Actually, yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
D really works.
That could have worked.
D would have been great.
Yeah. And there's what we did get, the blue-gray.
Even here with the blue-gray, I like the yellow accents to some of the...
Yeah, the yellow accents are alright. I don't believe that she actually has those in the game, does she?
Mm-hmm. And she has different gauntlets for her alternate.
Yeah.
Everyone stole Firefly's clothes. Everyone.
I think these
Yo,
are...
Joe.
Yeah. Alright, that was Jackie.
Jax.
They went through some shit trying to figure out what Jax would be like after he came back from being a Revenant. Some of these have, like, long, grown-out hair.
What?
Yeah, they were really experimenting.
They were experimenting.
It is taking me seconds to register that this is still Jax looking at some of these.
Yeah.
Right?
What are you doing? No!
Somebody had to get them to focus up and remember that Jax is Jax and that he would look like Jax.
What the fuck is going on in the top left?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay. Let's never do that again.
I still like the Revenant. I think that this is the most creative they got with any of the Revenants.
It's good.
Whose body is that in the background of the farmer picture?
You came to the wrong goddamn farm, asshole.
Yeah, see, there's Outworlders attacking him on the farm, and he's stabbing him with the pitchfork. You know, that happened in the comic. Reiko did that.
It doesn't look like an Outworlder. Those just look like Earth shoes. Jax killed a guy for trespassing on his farm. It's just some guy.
Brick, you killed a guy with a trident. I've been meaning to talk to you about that. You should lie low because you're probably wanted for murder.
Scooping ice cream into a fucking toaster.
That escalated quickly. That
Are
really
you trying to
got
say
out
there's
of
a
hand.
party in your pants and I'm invited? Yes. Did they come over here? Did they tell you to come over here and say that? Oh, still no.
I love lamp. Jax, do you really love the lamp, or you're just looking at things in the room and saying? All right, Johnny Cage.
Yes.
Okay.
I
think it's interesting that for like a hot minute, they thought older Johnny should have a Bill Murray hairline.
Yeah, right?
I don't hate it, actually.
I was kind of like cycling through names to like really articulate what that looks like.
I could have gone for that. I could have, if he got a little Jack Nicholson as he got older, that could still work.
I would love a little Jack Nicholson and Johnny
Actually,
Cage.
with Johnny's face structure, it would look like Frank West from Dead Rising.
Do not care for those lightning pants.
Yeah, the top row is it's a lot.
There's like some Image Comics shit going on.
Yeah, I don't know about all this spiky hair that's like shaved on the sides. That's not doing it for me.
That sucks.
Let's see what else we got. Yeah, these are some takes on what kind of street clothes older Johnny would wear. This is all kind of in the ballpark. I will this bottom right row all kind of looks like James Sunderland to me. with the Terminator's face though.
A little bit, especially number 3.
Yeah.
Needs more casual pants. You've been a very bad boy, Johnny.
Here's some color.
What the shit is number 2 on the left?
That
sucks. He is going out dancing at the hottest Latin clubs tonight. He's trying very hard to fit in.
You gotta stop trying to give Johnny sleeve tattoos, guys. That's not Johnny.
Oh man,
I think we should.
Image is
so I do kind of like
something.
So the top right, the clothes, just the clothes, I kind of like it's like his style of athletic wear, but in the casual version, it's like the Cobra alt where the primary is a gi and then the alternate's a hoodie. That kind of works for Johnny too. I could have seen him wearing that instead of the army bulletproof vest stuff.
It's veering a little bit too close to Tron Raiden territory, but that aside, I don't know about the... I just don't know about the stripes, but it's a good outfit.
Yeah. Here's what we got. They were gonna have like a Harley Davidson type logo on his blue shirt. They scrapped
look at that sample text.
Yeah, sample text. That's my favorite brand of bike.
I need to get that done as a patch. Sample text.
Check out my Lorem Ipsum. It's the hottest bike on the market.
You need finger tattoos that say Lorem Ipsum.
Yeah.
On each finger.
All right, there's
the man.
Yeah, his retro.
It really does look.
Johnny.
It really does actually look kind of more Jack Nicholson-esque on her face, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's again, like the concept art has sleeve tattoos that he clearly doesn't have in the game. That's Johnny. Fucking Kano and his fucking new eye that sucks.
Oh god, let's go.
It looks like he's in pain.
I don't like any of this.
These ones at the bottom right, where he's clearly like taller and buffer. This is like even more Suhao,
Did they make bottom center? Did they make the fucking laser arc into a Black Widow symbol?
They did. They did. They indeed did.
None of this is good. None of this.
I don't know who this guy on the far bottom right is.
There's a lot.
That's not Kano.
All right, so we've got some more.
Getting a bit better.
Closer to Kano.
A lot of shirtless Kano.
Top right is
here.
Top right is very Suhao in terms of
they've even made him yellow.
Even. Jesus.
Good God.
What is happening to his hand there? It's like growing up his forearm, some kind of technology.
You know, the bottom left is just clearly an implant, just like
yeah,
Su
that's
Hao.
just a heart. It's just a heart. All right, these are closer to what we'd end up with.
Why does this whole thing feel outsourced?
You know, I like the so the second one on the bottom left with the like open trench coat. I could have gone for that. It feels a little Deadly Alliance.
Maybe.
Like
Something
a
about
sleeveless trench with a popped collar. I could go for that. I don't need the heart thing. Again, the heart thing. What the? Okay, so the third one in the top left. The heart thing is shaped like a dragon's face. Do you see it?
Why is his
Yeah.
head normal and his chest is gold and arms are gold?
Yeah.
What is happening?
There's some weird shit going on
Like
there.
this entire string of concept art just done by the same people as the prior ones.
Also, all of these top left ones, the eye's on the wrong side. Most of this page, the eye's on the wrong side. And you couldn't flip it because that would flip the bandolier to the wrong side.
Oopsies.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
Okay, I need to get off this page. Okay. Kano, we got...
I need to. Oh man.
What is...
All of this sucks.
Hold on. Do you see his abs? Where, like, the bandolier strap,
Yeah.
they, like, erased it as they were, like, painting in his abs?
Yeah, that's. Oh my god, they turned that in.
Ugh.
I'm not
All right.
I'm not gonna let this go. I really feel like this was done by different people
Yeah.
who didn't know what they were doing.
Can we
Well, I mean,
stop
if-
looking at Kano?
All right, let's stop looking at Kano. That is Keanu Reeves 100%. You cannot tell me that they didn't like literally have a
Oh,
photo
yeah.
of Keanu.
Ooh. Look at that
What a...
Yeah, it's
the detail on
hilts.
the hilt is so nice.
Yeah, they were gonna do like a weird pommel on Sento there. Anyway, why is he bald?
I don't like that. I don't like that. Oh my god, he's got two sashes. Goes over his dick. Oh my god.
That's
Big
a bit
sash.
much.
Getting better the more to the right we go.
Yeah.
Really dislike
You know,
number 2.
there's like a... So this is obviously like the right one. Like you look at the shoulders, and that's kind of the jacket that he's wearing in his Old Man Primary.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the bare arms and like whatever's going on with the armor under the jacket better, because it seems like it's like paint. Like there might be... I can't tell if it's supposed to be painted red, but there's a lot of like silver revealed by paint chipping, or if those are supposed to be like kanji or something. But it's interesting.
Yeah, I like the sleeveless look.
Yeah, I think I like this.
It really makes it look better, and honestly, makes it look more like Deception.
Yeah, I like number 3 here better than what we got. Except I would keep the beard. Let's see. Here's some tries on his like retro.
It's beard or clean shaven, not stubble like we have here.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. Like the middle one feels like the closest to his Deadly Alliance, but I would just go straight Deadly Alliance like they did.
It's close, but it's again, we're just busy.
Yeah. Bald, long hair. Okay.
They really wanted to do that, didn't they?
Not so much into any of these.
Yeah, I don't like any of that.
And now we're really doing the Keanu head, which I like actually. You know what? Number 4 here, where he's kind of in like just a jacket and pants. It looks like snowboarder maybe.
Looks kind of CW to me.
I'm okay with that for Kenshi. I
But
feel
if you
like that would fit his vibe.
I think it needs a touch or two. It's a bit.
It's a little like maybe some.
It's a little plain.
Maybe some kind of shoulder pad, kind of like
a single shoulder pad or a scabbard at his side would.
Yeah. I mean, again, number 3 is what we got, but with bare arms, which I'm digging. Like, I kind of wish we got that.
Yeah.
Same with number 1, bare arms. And there's the actual what we got.
Okay.
Oh, and then so the concept art.
Literally just the same.
The concept
bit of
art.
Deadly
just
Alliance
imported.
for you.
Yep, it's just the Deadly Alliance art reused.
Go back to the prior one.
That sword is a European
What's with the fucking
longsword.
claymore? What the hell?
Thank you. I was waiting for one of you to say something.
Yeah, that's why. Well,
Okay, we can
thankfully they didn't do that.
we can move on now.
Okay. Katana.
Katana.
Yeah,
Nope.
we talked about this outfit. I like it. Through the
And
9.
we went over 9. We covered this.
Okay, that number 3 there is very naked.
Oh, whoa.
I feel like that would look much better on her if she was. And this looks like a nether realm.
Yeah, even for the Revenant, perhaps. Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah. They're still going with the nakedness, huh?
The second color one had the Legend of Korra come out yet? Because that looks like Korra.
It might have just debuted.
Yeah, number 1 here that's just bondage gear. Like her tits are out.
You do a fucking cartwheel. I'm just getting flashed with genital.
Yeah, that's a little much. Let's see. On the
Not
left
digging
is the
anything
Revenant.
I'm seeing.
Anakin, did I ever tell you about Princess Katana?
Shut the fuck up.
No. There's a lot of like
Katana's
going on in
glaive.
here.
Of course.
This is Katana's glaive, and not the glaive of a dead friend of hers. That
reading this makes me sad.
I get it.
This is the last
All right,
one. Let's go.
All right, Kotal. This is all kind of muddy and difficult to.
There's so much. This is
the concept art for the newer characters are a lot more interesting.
Yeah. There's some
see where their head was at.
Interesting thing, like the very first one, like the top left here. I like the headgear. They could have done that for like his alt skin instead of having his hair out.
Mm-hmm.
That could have worked.
I kind of like the feathers for shoulders. That kind of looks nice.
Yeah, that's neat too. I like the top left here.
They were kind of leaning into some sort of witch doctor vibe for playing with that from 2 and.
Now we're getting into the finalized design and adding color.
That does not look like they thought it was going to be. That looks like a blue man.
Yeah, that is a man with like. He's kind of glowing. Like that looks like Dr. Manhattan in Kotal Kahn's armor.
Yeah. Here's
right.
got a full face mask.
Tired of these people and their petty realms and their wars.
So he doesn't have snake-shaped sickles. He has actual snakes on his shoulders.
That could have been kind of sick. That could have been kind of rad.
I kind of really like this, honestly. He's got this. He looks more like a personification of an Aztec god or some shit.
Yeah. There's
so
it's more impressionistic.
When I first saw Kotal Kahn, I thought he was like an elder god.
Well,
because one of the elder god like art in 9 or one of the trailers looked like kind of Aztec-y.
Yeah.
This looks like something that like.
Well, they did
so
when they first revealed Kotal, they talked about him being worshipped as a god by the Aztecs, and they didn't reveal right away that he wasn't a god, he was faking it. So a lot of people thought that's what we were going to get. And also, like, the Elder Gods, you are used to seeing them with that holographic blue skin look, so I can see that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I just realized?
What's that?
This is like War Gods, but it's good.
I can see that.
True.
Let's see, here's the Kotal we got. A couple different takes on his waist thing.
I think what we got was a lot better.
There's like smoke coming off of his hair in these. That's interesting.
Ew, the far left with the boots, the 1 foot out, the one.
Yeah,
that's a mistake.
I'm glad they didn't do that.
I think you know what they must have been just. This must have been a proof where they were trying to decide like what do you like better.
Yeah.
Because there's no way they thought one guy walking around with a fucking single was a good idea.
Yeah,
They were just experimenting. And the final version where it's the jaw bones, which I really like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best version of it.
And there's this
I think
where, you know, the all of the like white and red paint is not here.
Yeah.
I can kind of vaguely see it though on the top of his head.
Yeah, like a little bit.
But it's less intrusive.
Definitely
cycle
should have
through
had a helmet.
Kotal's-
Definitely should have had a helmet.
Cycle through Kotal's one more time. I could have sworn there was one that I remember seeing.
What are we looking for?
Okay, it must only be online then. It's not in the game. There's concept art where they were playing around with what they would eventually do in 11, where he could shapeshift into animals.
Oh yeah.
Like he could change into like a snake and like maybe a falcon and shit too. And
So I noticed that Jin
looks
here has
20 years old. And
Yeah. So they drew his
he's
face
so
older.
old.
But I do like that he's got more hair like sticking down out of the thing.
yeah.
I think that could have helped, because we talked about his hair being like the ponytail is too tight and doesn't really make the headgear look good.
Oh, there's a lot going on here.
They really
He-
tried to make bald a thing in this game, didn't they?
In these first two, he's wearing Kung Lao's hat on his back.
Yeah.
I think the hair's better in number 1 than what we got, because again, he's
Yeah.
got some like bangs hanging down.
I'm glad we ran screaming from what's on the.
Number
Yeah.
2 here, it looks like he's kind of, they based his vest, his like Ninja V kind of thing on MK3 Kung Lao.
Yeah.
There's some. There's some pattern similarity.
But 1 is almost exactly what we actually got.
Oh god, number 4. I'm just looking at the fucking steak knife set on his fucking belt.
There's
yeah.
a sharpener on the other side.
I'm glad they didn't do this old timey archer hat or
Yeah,
bald.
me too.
That's the thing. That's the thing I want to run screaming.
Yeah, those.
That's not right.
3 and 4 were not the way.
No, thank you. Next.
Okay, so here's his like thief outfit.
God, he looks so old.
Yeah, his face is so like
His
weathered.
face sucks.
I'm sure they must. It must be like another case of they traced someone. 'Cause that first image reminds me of that.
It kind of maybe Donnie Yen.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
Does feel like they like based it on a real actor or something. Like it does feel familiar to me.
Yep, that's the primary. Wait,
The alt.
I meant alt.
Yeah.
I
Here's the
almost
primary.
said default, and I tried to change it, but I
Yeah.
just used a synonym instead.
We know what you meant.
Alt.
I know. Well, that's good.
They
What's the
really-
next one?
They were really attached to that chakram.
That's there the entire time. That's crazy.
Yeah. So here's a close up on the bow design, which we all
Magic
said that
string.
we were into. We like the bow. The bow stuff can also be a staff.
One leather. Does
Really
not
creative.
connect bone.
Yeah, this is a pretty
It's
good.
it's nice looking. I like that.
Here's Okay, so
Oh, that middle one. Ooh.
Whoa, there's some Undertaker shit going on here.
yeah, it's not just long hair. It's like greased up long hair.
It's like
very- It's very
hatred. If you remember that fucking game.
I
No.
was gonna say Glenn Danzig.
Yeah. Glendale. I can.
He's got like the big jaw too.
Mother,
Next
do you
one.
want to throw hats with me?
What the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah, they
on
were,
the left.
The headgear when his hat's off, that looks like a motion capture
Ooh.
cowl.
Ooh. Oh man.
What the fuck? They were trying some things with the hat blade too. That I'm glad.
Yeah,
that
I don't
they,
know what this middle one here is
I,
doing.
I like how the middle one implies a hat you can look.
What the fuck?
Unnecessary.
Yeah,
They,
get off this page. Who is this?
More of the
Who
Undertaker.
is
This is the this is the fucking Undertaker.
I want to give the benefit.
Kung Lao was undefeated at WrestleMania until Shao Kahn snapped his neck. All right.
I want to give the benefit of the doubt and say they had to do a bad guy version of Kung Lao. Maybe the Revenant was supposed to play a bigger part because, like,
yeah, I can see.
There's just no fucking way, man. Look at those blades on his second.
I can
right?
see. I see at the top there that page Revenant Kung Lao.
Yeah, I can. Like, if you're trying to think about like what would Kung Lao like, you've got Hat Guy, evil, and you're thinking like, yeah, the silhouette that the Undertaker cuts with his like Wild West big brim hats. Kung Lao could rock that.
I mean, it is very important to remember that the whole fucking idea, the concept came Clint Eastwood's Man with No Name with hat.
Yeah. There's a lot of
this
Western,
all calls back to that, and I appreciate that. Here.
There's a lot of Western in Kung Lao's DNA. And
then that happened.
What the fuck is the left one?
Why is he's got like. He's dressed for the snow or something? Like...
I don't have an hour, man.
Okay.
There's so much happening.
There's the Lao we got.
Now, back to Saturday.
I'm waiting for a certain concept art to show up.
Is it this one?
No.
Is it this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, the Gimp mask. We talked about that.
Oh, man.
Probably a good thing they didn't go with the Gimp mask.
I got some questions.
Look, I get it. Quan Chi's stuff has like a bondage motif, but it doesn't always work.
If his face had gotten blown off in 9, maybe?
Yeah, it's not for everybody. It doesn't really go with anything else that Kung Lao... Like, it doesn't fit his character. Anyway,
I think so. There's descriptions that come with these concept arts. I think they say that this was like some kind of like playing around with the idea that he's like ashamed of himself in death.
Yeah, a mask to hide his shame. Unfortunately, we had to lose the mask for the sake of functionality. I wonder what they mean by that.
I think they didn't want to program the lips not animating.
It's probably also a matter of like them. They probably would have also had to like speak muffled for that costume and normal for a regular costume.
Well, they actually do that for like some of the ninjas and people who wear masks. They have like different voices for different skins already.
They did that for Deathstroke in Injustice 1.
But I could see how it's like, with the Gimp mask, he wouldn't be able to move his lips, but you can't animate his face different for different skins. So that would be a problem.
Possible.
Anyway, here's Liu Kang.
I look so mad.
It's a sneer.
I noticed that his hair is not gray here.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looks very like angry and snooty like he did in 9. I presume that these are Revenant designs, trying to explore different ways to make him look like an edgy warrior as an undeadman.
I don't really find any of these terribly interesting.
No.
Neither with these.
Yeah. They're
C is very... like Great Kung Lao-ish, but like...
Yeah, they're two ancient times. They're two dynasty warriors for a Liu Kang.
Yeah.
These ones are interesting. Like the dyeing his hair blonde.
it looks these kind of have like a Robin Shu.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like Robin Shu in the face and the ones with black
hair.
I think the hoodie one, like the second to last, is kind of neat. I could have gone with that for the Revenant.
He's got like a fishnet like armband thing on the second one.
Yeah, that's weird. Like it's just a shoulder strap for no reason. But yeah, I get from these like poofy blonde hair ones, I get kind of like a Mongol wig kind of thing. I don't know.
I kind of wish he had these poofy hair in the games.
Yeah.
Just like base.
Yeah, you just get if you got the Robin Shoe volume to his hair. I've always said that's the best Liu Kang hair. His hair should look magnificent.
Just shoe that shit up.
But yeah, some of these again, two Dynasty Warriors.
I don't know what the fuck is going on with number 3.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's
very
not
like
Liu Kang. That's something
ancient times.
Why do I see like a little Doctor Strange symbol on his knee?
Kind of like, yeah, I don't know. And
that's the base.
I'm really glad that they didn't go with this design. That they just went straight for a dragon logo.
Yeah.
On the vest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's his alt. Talked about. Revenant.
Yep.
Talked about.
We covered that.
Green eyes.
Yeah, I noticed green eyes and
that's interesting.
So if you look at some of the concept arts for these Revenants, different characters were going to have different colors for their glowing veins. And they couldn't even do that.
Oh, that's interesting. Fuck. Yeah. I kind of wish they did that.
Yeah.
Wonder how Smoke would have looked.
Anyway, Melina. It's weird that they colored her eyes white here.
I don't know.
So,
I mean,
evil Empress shit here.
Yeah, it's all very kind of sexy vampire,
sexy Maleficent type shit.
A lot of this looks like what became Kitana's Empress outfit.
I feel like I feel like I'm getting like the closer you get to the right, the more it's kind of getting like Middle Easty, kind of reminding me of Sadira from Killer Instinct.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah. That.
God, her hand is fucked up in these.
Yeah, I
her
feel
fucking
like,
right hand.
Yeah, they a little too much with the fingernails.
Well, I was thinking like the wrist and the palm and like the. Like her right, our left.
Yeah. She's kind of like both of her hands are almost going Lady Deathstrike. The fingers are so long. That's a problem. But I actually like the crown thing on the first one, like the leftmost one. I could actually see that working. Like you could have kept that.
Yeah.
Also, like they drew her mouth properly. She doesn't have the cheek teeth with the big lips yet.
Yeah, she does have lips though, but so you know, I'd just rather look at that. You know, these are a lot.
Yeah, the middle one with the demon horns is weird. Gotta look at how much of her ass is sticking out. Caked up. That's
so much of this just screams Netherrealm.
It does.
Yeah, what the hell?
These do feel kind of Revenant-y. Because, like, if you're gonna...
This kind of feels like... Was there, like, a cut story beat where she was gonna work for Shinnok once D'Vorah killed her?
Yeah, I feel like...
It says the High Queen Melina.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to figure out what she would look like as, like, the Empress, and they're trying to figure out, like, a woman borrowing Shao Kahn elements, and they're not getting Shao Kahn at all. They have completely missed the mark on Shao Kahn, and we're getting fucking Shinnok demon stuff instead.
That's about it.
Yeah. I'm trying to read this, okay.
What,
there's, like, some notes on the very
hang on.
Right.
All of these outfits are meant to have an overgarment, which is taken off when the fight starts, i.e. a dress or an overcoat or cloak, which make her seem royal. That's what it's
okay.
Alright. Anyway, here's, now we're getting in the ballpark of her, what she actually wore for her, tournament skin, I guess?
Option D looks very MK2.
Yeah, I like D.
Yep.
I like D.
I like D2 a little bit better.
The further left you go, the more elven she looks.
B isn't bad either. Oh yeah, these all have pointy ears.
Pointy ears.
These all have
I don't
pointy
know what
ears.
The
That's
fuck's
a problem.
up with that?
Don't need to do that. But yeah, I like B and I like D. Anyway,
That's about it.
here's
Ew,
a
next
study of
one.
how her fucking new mouth works. Look, she has 2 rows of teeth. It
Oh
doesn't
god,
even
I'm
make
so
an
tired of talking about
anatomical
it.
sense.
No, next one. I don't want to
Alright.
speak on it.
Right, that's what she actually got. She actually got. Oh, look! We could have had deception with pants,
Could've.
but deception. I would have really liked to have that deception outfit.
Would have been nice.
It would have been nice.
All right, that's Melina.
Next one.
Quan Chi.
Wow, he looks traumatized.
Yeah, this face is kind of like a brutish. It's too thick.
Looks like he's carved from stone opposed to the
Yeah.
rest of him. What is okay? It is so weird how
Boring.
it is so weird how D has absolutely nothing going on all over the abdomen. All of this. And so much going on elsewhere. Like
Yeah.
this is a Cenobite that's just taking a coffee break.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to. They're definitely trying to find like the right amount of Cenobite in these. Okay, so these are more Deadly Alliance-y. And then D, I think, is sort of what they arrived on for his alt costume, but then they stuck the skull on the chest.
Right. It's got a collar though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate
Got an MK4 collar.
this interpretation
Yes.
of the Deadly Alliance bandolier. I don't hate it.
It's so strange looking at A and like not having him have any form of
Yeah, what the hell?
shoulder spikes or anything at all.
Yes.
It's wrong.
I don't think like sometimes with these concept arts, like it's never intended to be the thing. It's just intended to be like to show you what's underneath the other thing.
Some
Okay.
things are not meant for man to see.
So, you know, the more I look at it, I don't think I do like the this interpretation of the DA bandolier because I'm getting like PS4 Kratos vibes.
You know, I will say one problem I have with all of these. First of all, these pants are way too busy. And second, it's all
gross.
black. There's no teal in any of this.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I am noticing is that these tattoos are the Deadly Alliance ones, not the MK9 ones.
Oh yeah, they are. Look at that. That's interesting.
Neat.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
B is interesting.
B is kind of close to what we got. It's interesting that B and D have Shinnok's amulet on them.
Yeah.
I rather like B a lot.
B is kind of cool.
I don't.
It's
hate
like
it.
it's kind of like a lot more heavy metal of MK4.
Yeah, I would do something different with the chainmail hanging down from the waist.
Right.
But the point
more
is, it's
thinking
very
about the waist up.
Yeah, like from the belt up. I like it. Yeah, I could go for that.
I do like how the collar kind of like goes up like little spires, you know?
Yeah.
I dig that.
You know what A is? I'll give you one guess.
Looks like he just got out of the shower.
Bed. This is pajamas. This is how he sleeps, and you can't tell me otherwise.
I don't like C.
Okay, so now we're sort of getting to like that.
MK9 Scorpion Giger shit.
Yeah, there's
here.
some of that. We're getting closer to the design they went with because he's got the checkerboarding belts across his abs, and the 3 segmented skirt on his legs in number 2 there. And yeah, now we're landing on it. And the vampire skull
revealed
with metal
Death's
hood
Hood
armor. Skull of an Immortal could just be another powerful relic that he wears in a battle, adding even more to his own dark magic. Alright, so it's...
No, it could be this. Let's put it on there.
It's powerful because vampires have immortality? Okay.
Doesn't look like they do.
Yeah.
In that...
This one is clearly not alive.
In that one paragraph, you're reading all thought that...
Yeah, that was it. And then, yeah, there's his ult. I guess these are designs for the sword and his fatality? Meh.
I suppose.
Yeah,
Don't actually know what yeah.
That's the most bitchin' tuning fork I've ever seen.
This is a lot.
Ew. D's kind of cool.
We are
But, like,
going
not
big trouble in
as
Little
Raiden.
China, but
Not
we're a bit
as
too
Raiden.
mushroom.
Yeah,
It's
that's
cool in a vacuum.
So here's the thing, if you put a mask over the lower half of Raiden's face, it's not Raiden anymore, it's just some traveling monk. Number 1 looks like his hat is growing off him like a mushroom cap. What the fuck?
I was about to say, number 1 looks like the dying guy in the background of Living Force in MK2.
Yeah. I mean, from the neck down, it looks like a regular Raiden outfit, like he's basically MK2 in it, but that hat is a problem. Swirly armor on number 2 is... Yeah, I don't want to look at these anymore. This is also too much. The skinny Raiden with the long hair flying out? I don't know.
There's something interesting about like, you can tell that they're remembering something about not seeing his eyes. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, they're trying.
The trick is that, like, they're trying to get around that by, like, maybe not fucking around with shadows so much, not working. And on the right side, we have, I don't know, he looks so anorexic, and I appreciate them embracing the long white hair.
Again, I kind of dig it, though. Like, in a vacuum, I kind of like it, but not like...
Like, if it was for a different character. Raiden is not... I don't want to see him like the withered Ermac body.
Yeah. If this was like a character in a different game series, this would look sick as fuck.
I mean, I would chalk that up to maybe the art style.
They're trying too much. They're just doing too much with all 3 of these.
Yeah.
It's interesting how old he looks.
Okay, so here they're trying some things with having his hair out. I actually really like C and D.
I don't know what's going on with B.
He's got facial hair.
He's got lightning climbing off of his arms. And yeah, the goatee is not necessarily... Like, that might have been for a dark Raiden?
Maybe.
I don't know. The one thing I would change with all of these is sleeves on his arms.
Meh.
But yeah, I totally could have gone for hair out. That would have been nice. And C and D are not too busy. Like, they look plain enough. I could have gone for that.
I rather like C, actually, most of all.
Yeah.
I think there's a colored version of one of these outfits.
Maybe. So these are, I guess, Dark
These are
Raiden.
Dark Raiden. He looks like a. He looks like
know
a
what's
zombie.
going on? No, he's particularly got a Gangshi thing going.
Yeah.
Chinese zombie.
Yeah.
He's a Cinco.
I get it. I think it's bad, but
guess...
I get it.
It's
again, it'd be a good use. It'd be better put to use on a new character.
I feel like 1 and 3 are getting a little male strippery for me.
Yeah.
I can't see that. I can't say that. I can see where this comes from. Smokeman's right. This would be a good direction for a new character, for someone else from, like, the Netherrealm or some shit.
Yeah.
I would really love to see them take this in an interesting direction.
Because I really like the way the face is drawn and just how, like, I don't know the words for it off the top of my head.
Like the vacant stare?
Yeah, the vacant stare.
Yeah, it does look a little...
They really just kind of like
zoned out, maybe under mind control or just something.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, yeah, here's the colored...
That first one put sleeves on that? Gimme it.
Give me a different hat, then you can give me it.
Yeah, you know. I just want hair, man. I just want his hair out, man.
I can see it. I think,
I just want his silver hair out, man.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Hey, the third one stole Fujin's braid. Kill it!
Yeah, that's no good. Yeah, here's some more... like, yeah, number 1 here has, like, the hair is blowing in the wind. That's a pretty sick look.
That's
I like
pretty
that.
badass, actually.
Nice.
I don't want the bladed gauntlets.
Agreed. That was not clicking with me.
Those could.
That's a mistake.
Like when you give them sleeves, make sure you replace those too.
Get rid of the brown.
Yeah,
give it blue.
Yeah, white or
and
blue
we're
there,
good.
like on the second one. Okay, and these are the Raidens we got.
Yep, that's the Raiden.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dark Raiden. Which, why is the gem on the amulet the wrong color?
'Cause
Whoops.
fuck you.
We're not gonna worry about that.
Shit, that's why.
Reptile.
Razor, have you ever thought about fuck you?
I have actually.
Oh.
Got him.
Okay, so number one here is
Tail. He's got like abomination ears.
yeah. I'm glad they didn't do that.
On the second one here.
Number 2 and 3 are way too busy. Number 1 is his alt that we got.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 is kind of like doing a medieval peasant thing.
That also looks like a zombie somehow.
He's got 3 fingers.
He's very skinny. And yeah, 3 fingers and a tail. It's somewhere between MK4 and Deadly Alliance over there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's some
I like the mask on A. It's kind of creepy.
yeah,
It's okay.
I think I can't even tell if they're trying for his primary or his alt here.
I'm not really digging these.
Most of these are not wearing pants, and that's a problem for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to see reptiles' bare legs. Okay, yeah, it looks like that.
Here they tried like the concept art, or not the concept art, the fan art where he's got.
Oh
like
yeah,
a Cobra
so
hood.
the second to last on the bottom, the hood is traced from concept art by a guy named Soysaurus1 on DeviantArt. I know that guy. He used to post on MKO.
Is this the only game where they tried giving him a cobra?
Yes,
Or did they?
I believe so.
I feel like I've seen this happening on and off so many. Or maybe I've just seen this one brought up so many times.
It's been done in fan art before, but this, like, a Cobra hood on Reptile would be cool. I just think it's fucked that they literally traced one from somebody's fan art. Like, draw your own hood. Draw your own hood. It's not that hard to draw a hood.
I kind of really hate the whole notion of a Cobra hood on Reptile. I think it looks stupid.
To each their own.
Like, maybe like the Queen of the Zaterrans can wear one.
Right? Yeah, like
that could work.
It's too elegant and
yeah, I can see that. I can see that. It does.
It's like ish for the guy.
Reptile does not have the status to look that cool.
I get that snake and frog have a thing. Not all snakes and.
What is this? Okay,
I'm not talking well right now.
The third one on the top. What is this like pyramid head block mask? What is going on there?
I don't know.
It plainly, it's a mask. It says so.
Yeah, it says it's a mask, just in case you were confused.
Mask.
Helpful.
What's
the executioner to the left of?
Hold on. I have to point this out. The first two, like on either row, the first one.
Yeah, no, those are.
They're traced from Sub-Zero's render from 9.
Yes, they are in fact painted over top. You can recognize the pose.
Right.
That's MK9 Sub-Zero.
They didn't even bother to change the cowl on the top one.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna move on. So
Shame.
I think
here's this shit.
The study of his throat bulging before he spits is actually interesting to me. I could go for that.
That's pretty neat.
Don't hate it.
I like the unhinged jaw concept. That's a person who should be unhinging their jaw all the time.
I mean, if you're gonna eat somebody's head whole, you need to be able to stretch your face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You love to see it.
I kind of like the top left, the first mask. It feels like it's a UMK3 design to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
I could go.
It's because he's at basically the exact same angle as the picture.
Yeah.
The second one looks like something you'd see in Annihilation.
Yeah, the second one has these,
But
like,
good.
diamond
But very
designs
good.
on it. I don't need that. Okay, so...
I'm so
really-
pissed we didn't get the far right here.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
the colored
looks so
picture
good.
here would have been a perfect outfit.
That would have been so fucking great.
Because it's like...
oh my god.
It's
I've
like
been
the
so
retro
mad ever since I
MK1
saw
or
it.
2, but it's like a modern update of it. It's... Yeah, that's a sick fucking outfit, and it really sucks that it didn't do that one.
Why
Do
didn't
you want to
they
know
do
why we
it?
didn't get it? Do you want to know?
Why is that?
Do you want to
Why?
know?
Why?
Fuck you.
He's
That's
right.
why.
He's
I
right.
know,
He's right.
I know.
Alright.
It's so cool looking.
Here's
This
some of
Even
that.
this one on the right over here, I actually...
I like that he's got the Deadly Alliance belt buckle.
Yeah, but like these like
And it does have
bat-shaped.
the... Yeah, the shoulder pads are not great.
Shoulder pads aren't great, but I actually really like the mask and helmet design on this thing. Like, I feel like this is the kind of aesthetic that people think about and talk.
I do
Human-ish
appreciate...
reptile.
I do appreciate that it's got the quilt pattern.
I like the twin snakes that like wrap around each other as the belt goes along.
Yeah. It's not as good as this one.
I know. I mean, yeah.
But there's some good
I'm
some
not-
good points to number 3 here. I could go for some of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's
Yep,
the
that's
one
what
we
we got.
got. Here's the one we got. Okay. Scorpion.
I know these get fucking whack.
Yeah, there's
Ugh.
Ooh,
Oh, God.
I kind of like the first one on the bottom row.
I like number 4 on the bottom row because it looks like MK2.
I can't tell what looks like anything anymore. I'm
Yeah,
getting
these
starting
are-
to fade.
These
are
are too
kinda
small and like, rough. This is too early in the
Not-
process.
Mm-hmm. Oh god, go back. The very end of the top one looks like a fucking cyber ninja. Or
There
something.
are actually quite a few on the top row that look like either a cyber ninja or Takeda with a hood.
Uh-huh.
Not into that.
Dislike.
So
I don't know who this is.
he's kind of melting.
That's a minion. That's a minion. That's not
That's
Scorpion.
someone that lives in Netherrealm.
He's a kind of noob Psy-body, but it's still very rough. I don't. Yeah. Okay, so here's the middle is the Scorpion we got.
I'm not really digging any of these masks. The kunai
No.
lining the V is kind of interesting.
I don't hate the first mask. It's got the skull motif.
Oh,
You can kind of see.
mask is a little too great-ish though.
Yeah, I'd like make those grooves thinner and color it gold or yellow. Yeah. Yeah, they're talking about like having his spear be a harpoon that shoots out of his gauntlet in these.
We don't need that.
We don't need that. Nobody wants that.
Oh my god.
That is a Dark Souls boss waiting to happen.
Yeah, this is like the Tom Savini's Jason from Friday the 13th game, where he's got like.
Yeah, this looks like Scorpion if he was the end boss. If he
You
was
know what?
the-
The second one here with the visible fire coming out of his chest reminds me of like the X-Men character Chamber.
Yeah. Oh my god, the first one has like a fresh skull on it.
Oh yeah,
Like he just fucking tore that out of someone.
if you look really close at the text, that's supposed to be Bi-Han.
Oh, I see it.
It says it's Sub-Zero's skull.
Little try hard, like most of this.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's too much.
Hanging bodies and
Too
shit.
much. Okay, so here is.
Hey, look at that handsome man.
So yeah, this is interesting because this shorter haircut is not what he has in the final version. But this concept art made its way into the hands of the guys working on the MKX comic. So in the comic book, Hanzo has this haircut.
Cool.
Which I actually think it's interesting, the idea of actually getting to see a character's hair grow out over time. Like, we got it kind of from Liu Kang in the original timeline. His hair does get longer from MK1 to 2 to 3. but it's so rare otherwise to actually see that. So I kind of like the idea of, like, you know, Hanzo having, like, the shorter hair. Maybe this was the haircut he had when he died in Mythologies. And then, like, the longer hair is, you know, he grew his hair out when he came back to life. Or something like that, you know?
I wish the loincloth were actually lined with fur in the game.
Yeah, the fur lining is not actually in the game. That's kind of a bummer, because it does look nice. Alright, and there he is with the mask. So this is what he actually got. There's his alternate.
I dig that left one.
Yeah, it's kind of nice with the mask. Alright, that was Scorpion. Shinnok.
How many more do we have?
Bald! Bald, I see it. I see it.
Yes. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Not much.
4. We're fine. We're fine. So Shinnok. Fucking glad they didn't make him bald.
Yeah, the less we see of that, the better.
Also, you guys notice this little pointed braided goatee thing?
Oh my god, ew.
Yeah, that's...
it sucks, alright.
Like, I get it. Pointed devil beard because he's the devil, but you gotta think about personality, man. You gotta think about personality. Don't be doing that. I do like that his eyes are green.
Yeah, right?
Would have been nice to see that in the game. Okay,
wow,
so...
basically first try, thank you.
Yeah, right there in the middle is what they actually gave him.
Not a fan of these other hats here.
I kinda like what they're trying to do in terms of the MK-esque hat on the right, but it's too rhinoceros.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something off about it. Okay, so here they're trying, fucking Tim Curry from Legend with...
I was about to say, thank you.
No. He's got the Dairu going on the right.
You know, if I just look at this in a fucking...
Weird.
If I just look at this in a... see the MK4... I see the Mythologies version.
They're trying to do a, you know, thing, make him more the devil.
But he's not the devil.
He's kinda the devil, but it doesn't need to be on the nose.
Next.
I kind of the hat's already on the nose, anyways.
Here's some more.
I see they drew Reiko on the right here.
Kind of.
I see more of a Quan Chi because he's fucking bald. I'm seeing like Quan Chi with a fur collar on the far right there.
I feel like the middle right here. If I took that hat off, I'd see Reiko's hair.
Maybe like there's a shadow around his eyes that I think you're seeing Reiko's face tattoos.
That's exactly what I'm seeing. Yeah, and there's something about the shape of his face too.
I guess if any of them were to wear a fur.
I don't know what character this is supposed to be on the left.
None of these particularly look like Shinnok at all.
Crown of green flames. Yeah, that's not doing it. Like, they're trying to do, like, a Hellboy thing, where he's got, like, an energy crown floating over his head.
Yeah.
No,
you can see that in the middle. You can see that in the very middle one, too.
Armor glows green and protrudes from fingertips. A more godlike Shinnok, his armor has brown, more demonic and ghastly. Beautiful, thick and flowy robes are like layered bat wings. I don't see godly when I look at that.
Have these people ever looked at Shinnok?
Okay, so here's the...
Bit better.
Yeah, that's the skin guy. That's his old costume.
The shoulder pads being so small makes it look so worse.
Yeah, they definitely...
He looks like he's trying to be tough, but he's got nothing.
They definitely... some of the problems with this art were smoothed over in the final 3D render. Oh, yeah, here it is.
Oh, hey, look at that.
The better version of it. Yeah,
much better.
There we go.
Proportions look good. He actually looks like he's...
I find it
Well,
interesting
not
that,
ruggedness, but
like, in the middle of his chest where the amulet should be, they put like an eyeball design instead.
I noticed some eyeball designs in the very first
Yeah.
one too.
Yeah, like So yeah, there's
Yeah.
the one we actually got. And yeah, if you look like there's kind of like slit eyes in the little gems next to his shoulders.
wouldn't have gone. That makes me think too much of Reptile.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Anyway, Sonya.
Do army hats actually say army on them?
They should.
They can. I'm pretty sure that's a real thing.
Okay,
I don't
cool.
know if that's the right font, but it doesn't really matter. I
Look at them
Okay, so-
legs.
Don't know.
get like I can see how number 1 is Sonya and number 3 is
Yes.
Sonya. But number 2 is somewhere between like a James Bond spy and a supermodel on the catwalk. This jacket
Yeah.
does not make sense.
Nope.
It's
nope,
a James Bond spy that forgot to put on pants that morning.
Yeah. Okay.
Colors subject to change.
Nope. Yeah, thanks.
Why
We were
though?
talking about this. And
Why-
they did.
Why couldn't the colors be subject to change into that color? Because that's the right color.
Mall Cop Sonya on the right there.
Those are
Mall
I actually-
Cop. I was about to say that I actually enjoy, but now you've ruined.
No, I see. I think those are navy colors.
Yeah.
I think like
Is that a tattoo?
there's a tattoo.
It is a tattoo. That I don't think Sonya would be the kind.
I think the tattoo says cage.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too.
No.
I see like it's on her side, so you can't see the whole thing. But I see AGE. That tattoo says
the
cage.
Fuck.
That is not.
No,
Sonya would not get
would
Johnny's name on her fucking.
never
bare
in a
midriff.
million fucking years.
No.
That is one of the worst ideas I've seen all night. No.
Okay, and then we're
I
working
kind of
our
like
way
the first
towards
one.
Yeah, the first one, it being like a sweater, kind of reminds me of like Bridget in the
Yeah, that's nice,
95
actually.
movie. I could go for that.
There's a bit of MK1 Sonya there too. That's cool.
I mean, I would make the pants green or black.
I think the pants are a little tight at the groin.
As artistic flaw. It's just the don't worry
Yeah.
about it. That's Cyberpunk Sarah Connor on the left.
It is. And we have spray on tan Sonya on the right.
Yeah, what is? And then there's a tattoo on her arm. Is
The
tiny little-
aviators make me think the right one is Cassie.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Cassie. Aviators and bright pink lipstick.
It definitely turned into Cassie.
Yeah.
For the left one, I think they just like photoshopped a real person's like photo on top of the head.
Maybe. I gotta worry about it. Maybe they
No.
should have done that because this face is not great.
Nope.
But
Yeah, get it off the screen.
I believe this is actually in the game. This is her Chapter 1 outfit,
This is.
which you'll notice is the right color. Yeah, the final version of the fucking
Nope.
blue
Mhm.
outfit.
Nope, it's blue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
between
her-
this one and Shinnok, I just feel like there was pages and pages of concept art that evolved into what we got that were just
Yeah.
not. It's like here's what we abandoned,
Yeah.
and here's what we actually got.
Yeah. So this is the remake of MK9 that's in the game.
Mhm.
And here's some art of her drone. Which is
Yippee.
a
Those
drone.
That's some drones.
This
Yep.
is some drone-ass drones. Okay.
Oh, this has been Sonya.
Yep.
I'm just as bored as usual.
So I noticed in the art for Unmasked Sub-Zero, he was going to have grayer hair. Yeah. Okay, this looks...
That's Scorpion in the middle.
Yeah, this
If I
looks like...
squint, that actually looks more like a reptile mask.
I can see it. Yeah.
Problems. This is not right.
I kind of like this. I would
I-
be okay with something like this.
I don't know that he ever needs a belt.
I mean,
feel like
So when I say that, I mean like kind of like the general image. Obviously, I don't need him to have a fucking big ass scythe.
so the
And I
problem
don't
I
really
have.
like
Oh,
the
that is a
arms.
scythe.
Yeah,
I
they're
haven't seen the
like
blade
ice.
before.
They're like giant ice pick sickles. Yeah.
Why would he ever need that?
I mainly mean just like kind of like the head, neck area.
Like
of both of these.
I do like that he's got the deception fur collar on the right.
Mhm.
The hood actually does work here.
The left one is too medieval European, and I don't like that it doesn't have a V. The right,
true.
the right, like the black bodysuit is tight, and leathery, so I think it's more of a B Han than a Kuai Liang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The fishnets on the hands are a little
That's
weird.
weird, yeah.
I'm not feeling these.
The left one looks more like an older Sub-Zero, like
I'm
past Sub-Zero.
There's kind of a like the chest feels revenant-y to me, and the arms kind of look like Aztec-y.
Mm-hmm.
Kotal
As
Kahn
with
type
most things,
That's
design.
the belt.
too busy.
Yeah, very
Um,
busy.
The one on the right,
The one on the right.
the armor squares reminds me of that reptile that I wish we got but didn't get.
Yeah, it does not work on Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
This pose.
This is too busy.
He's backsliding.
On the left.
On the right's much better.
I feel like it needs an undershirt. Like I'm seeing too much
Mm-hmm.
of his ribs. But it's
I agree with
closer.
that.
We're getting in the ballpark with the right hand side here.
Do not think all of his skin needs to be chalk white.
Okay, so this is the primary we got. There's Unmasked Sub, which I like. And Revenant. It's interesting that his
Yay.
hair is more slicked back. I also noticed that he's got like blue veins instead of yellow ones.
I kind of dig that.
That is nice.
That would have been nice. Would have been nice.
Not exclusive to the Revenant outfit here either. Like the main image, which we'll get back to, has some like blue scar tissue, which
Okay, so here we've got some takes on his like daggers. I
kind of like the one that they ended up with using.
it's fine.
I do like how clean they look.
Yeah. Number 6 is almost the Corey blade from Deadly Alliance.
But shorter.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, like obviously a dagger version of it. And this outfit on the right, again, it feels kind of reptile-y. Like the hood,
The shoulder thing.
the hood and
You
the
know-
shoulder thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the reptile concept arts had that same exact shoulder thingy.
It may well have.
Definitely the same person responsible for a lot of these two
Yeah,
characters' outfits.
it feels like there's some overlap when they were designing the ninjas. Like again, there's a lot of Scorpion in these sketches.
Overlap between ninjas is not necessarily a bad thing, but you have to know.
Yeah. So I've interesting that Takeda was gonna have like one eye different color than the other. Is that supposed to be like a reference to the connection between his family's powers and his dad being blind?
Maybe it's
don't
not
know.
supposed to be camo. Maybe it's supposed to be damage from sort of flash. Maybe that's supposed to burn
Yeah,
affected his eye.
I would believe that they would play around with one eye being blind.
Yeah.
Because
So
a
these
part of him
are,
is like his dad.
So I'm glad they didn't go
Ew.
with no shirt and long Sephiroth hair. That's
That's an
Yeah,
anime
that
character.
sucks.
yeah, this
That
is
is an-
super anime.
Ugh.
Also, like the idea of his whips being the armor on his arms just extending out. That's a little much.
Yeah. I that just looked stupid.
I'm not feeling that.
Plus, he'd probably cut himself really bad very easily.
So here's some tries on his alt costume. which
The colors are not
big-
doing it for me.
there's a big metal scorpion on his chest in number 2.
I get it. Dude, I get
Wow.
it. Whoa. Woohoo!
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I think
It's deep.
number 1 is what we actually got, but the colors weren't there yet.
Yeah, the colors on this
Yeah.
this attempt look terrible.
These are all still pretty grayscale.
Yeah, these are very boring.
So here they're still trying for whip arms armor that becomes the whips.
They look
So
like
he's got
spines in the first one.
Yeah, he's got some like exoskeletal shit on his legs. I don't need him to be in like
that
a
first one looks
District
like
9
like a
mech harness.
screamo band singer of some shit.
Yeah, like if a screamo band singer was like a mercenary.
He looks too old to be a combat kid. What?
Blade whips out, guys. Blade whips
Blade
out.
whips out. Okay, so these are
What the fuck?
Master of Blades? Spider? Carries 8 blades. 2 hooked, 2 curved, 3 short that he spins on his fingers, 1 hidden. Blades
must
out
have
of his
been-
dick, out of his ass, out of his knee.
These must have been
Blade, what?
very early when they were
Very
trying to figure out
early.
what. So they knew they wanted a combat kid to be a ninja, and they didn't know what. And like, look at number 3 is just Snake Eyes. Like he's holding an Uzi and a sai.
Oh, Christ, this is hilarious.
That's
Can see, but doesn't need
embarrassing.
to.
Embarrassing.
Can see but doesn't need to. Okay.
Whose 14-year-old nephew came up with this?
Jesus. All right. Okay. So here we've got
My
the lightsabers. So there's something there's concept art for Takeda that's not in this set that you can see online, where it looks like he was almost a female character. Like it's Takeda but with like a girl's face.
That does look like lipstick.
Yeah, this is like halfway between that art and the Takeda we got. Like, it's a little androgynous here. But there's definitely art out there where Takeda was clearly going to be a girl for like 5 minutes, and then they decided, nah, we've already got 2 girls, we should have 2 guys.
That blue and yellow color scheme would not work.
But you will notice here that he has yellow on his upper body that evens out his color scheme and ties it all together much better than the actual suit in the game does.
Yeah, if that yellow was underneath the gray and silver, that'd look nice.
Yeah.
Of course, here it's more bluish.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's a little weird. That's like,
I think that's just to make it look metallic.
Yeah. I believe so. There's these versions of the blades and the whips.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the first like the ends of the cable. The very first option. I believe Mark used those 2 concepts for his own Takeda design.
I've never looked close at the tips of the whips in his Takeda. There's there's the fully realized alt costume, fully realized primary. That's Takeda.
Yep.
And we're done.
Oh my god!
Thank fucking god for that.
Yeah,
Never.
Unlike 11 and 12, there's no concept art for the DLC characters.
There is some for Tremor out there, and he's like bald.
Of course he is.
Well,
or
I
maybe,
would imagine...
well, he's more has like a shaved like I don't know what you call it. Like,
I mean, when you
he's
look
not
at
bald,
when
but
you
can
look at
still see the
Tremor,
hairline there.
when you look at Tremor in the game, it's easy to imagine that under that hood there's no hair. But yeah, that was it.
Just taking a moment.
You can finally relax.
to
You
bask
don't
in
have
the
to
fact
do
that
any
I
more.
Never
2 to 3
again
hour,
have to
no more.
wade through a sea of mediocrity. Response. I feel like I can viz. This is too busy. This is too busy. You know what the thing is, man?
In the future, if we do like a big costume critique art thing, I think it's clear that Smokeman and I enjoy that stuff more than you do. You
This
don't
is the thing of it.
necessarily
It's
have
not
to.
necessarily just that. Let me talk for.
Okay.
You guys are more art guys than I am, and I can do this to a certain. Not for 3 or 4 hours.
I get it. I
And it
totally
is
get it. It's
also
just there's
a
so much
matter of
content.
I'm still talking. I am still talking. You're not letting me finish. I'm still talking. Mortal Kombat was never your franchise. You've said this yourself. It's Ghostbusters.
That's
for you.
not necessarily.
You said something similar.
Ghostbusters was the first franchise I liked as a kid. That doesn't mean I like it more.
Okay, fair enough. Mortal Kombat was always my favorite franchise. Always, always, always. It was a safe space, my lightened times. It kept me. And I've spent the better part of 10 years wading through lesser versions of it. It's like you had a pet cat or a dog that you loved very much died, and then you had to spend the next 10 years picking at the cancers that killed it. This shit ain't fun for me, dog. And I'm so glad to finally be done. And I'm very much looking forward to the future, where I don't have to talk about another Mortal Kombat game anymore. For all the good things that they sometimes... I'm just grateful to put them behind me. And when I think of Mortal Kombat from this day forward, maybe even I'll come back if we ever actually do that proposed Shaolin Monks or Deception or 3D era games remaster that Ed talked. I'll be glad to come back and talk about those.
I am afraid that if they do a remaster of Deception, that they'll change all the outfits the way that the...
Oh, I was about to say I have no faith in the actual outfits.
I don't think a remaster is a great idea. I think just put them out, like emulate them for the modern consoles so that people can buy them as they were.
That would be fine by me. But my point is made. In the future, there will be no more of this for me.
Fair enough.
Any further discussion about NetherRealm will be limited to lost segments. And I'll be happier for it. I'm done. I'm free.
Obviously, like, Smokeman and I have done, like, art stuff in previous videos. And I think that the listeners enjoy it. But, yeah, clearly you weren't enjoying it so much, so...
I tried, man. I really did. But not for 3 hours.
Yeah, we had to get it done so that we wouldn't have to do it anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm happy to try it again when we actually look at good Mortal... But I'm Batish.
So, the first poll to decide what we're playing next is already out. And when this video releases, the second poll will come out, which, the first one is to decide what genre of game we'll play, and then the second poll will be, like, what game in that genre. So we will soon know, like, a week from the release date of this video, we will know for certain what our next game will be. And, I feel right now that the odds are it's going to be either an Arkham game or a survival horror. Do either of you guys have a preference, a particular one you're looking forward to?
Survival horror.
Survival horror. I feel like if we start talking about playing Batman Arkham or something, I will have fun with it because I haven't came out each of them. But then that invites so much discussion of politics and state of things.
Yeah, well,
which I just assume I'll forget.
I could see that. So I will say, if survival horror wins, we will be playing the original version of, like, whatever game it is, not the remake, because, like, a lot of the Resident Evils have remakes, a lot of the Silent Hill 2 has a remake.
An excellent one.
We will be playing the original. With one exception. If Resident Evil 1 is the game we play, I would rather do the GameCube remake than the original PSX game. That's just me. Do you guys have a preference either way on that?
I don't have a preference.
I have no horse in this race.
Fair enough. So, I guess we'll see what we're doing a week from the release of this video. Look forward to that. It's an open vote. It's not exclusive to the Patreon. It's not exclusive to the Discord. Anybody on YouTube who sees this video can vote in the thing. And I encourage you to do so.
Well, we'll be doing 2 separate polls. You put out one to decide.
Yeah, I put
what kind of game we'd be playing. Do we want to do the second one to decide which one it is? Yes. Okay.
The first poll was attached to episode 8 when it went public on YouTube. That poll is to decide genre. The second poll will be attached to episode 9 when it goes public on YouTube, which happens the same day that this video goes up on the Patreon. So go to episode 9 right now and vote for the game. And in the meantime, see you later, nerds.
Have a nice day. I know I will.
Oh,